welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
And today we're going to be talking about 1990s Demon Cop.
Yeah, let's make this a quick one.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the tea. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is it, Knocker?
Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.
Hello, Mr. Man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get green. And more.
So before we get started today, guys, there is no trailer because usually that's preceded by me saying, let's listen to the trailer.
It's actually my ringtone is you saying, let's take a listen to the trailer.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bobby, it's your 1 year anniversary on the show.
Yeah,
today,
I'm celebrating
the day we're
my
recording.
van-anniversary.
Yes.
And to celebrate, instead of jumping him in, we're actually going to hit him with a van, everybody, at the end of the show. So stay tuned.
Well,
It's all I've wanted
metaphorically,
this whole time.
because I made him watch Demon Cop.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already guessed it, I'm sure everybody, this is a no recommend. I mean,
You don't speak for me, Mike.
oh, well, now I'm very interested.
No, it's crap. I can't. No.
Oh, well, there's a reason we're covering this movie. This is literally the worst movie of all time. I've heard about it for years. It's just a very, very underground thing that nobody ever talks about. But on those deep, dark places on IMDb, people discuss the worst of the worst.
I can say the biggest of the biggest. I can say without exaggeration, this is the worst movie I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been to some dark alleys cinematically.
For me, this is like an in-between the Quad Dead Zone and Lost Faith. In a way, in terms of production.
It's kind of like a Quad-Dead Lost Faith, I could say.
It's like a purgatory of those two films together.
But you know what? The great thing about Joel Wynkoop's Lost Faith is
Everything.
is that we didn't have to see his asshole, but we do have to see this director's. So that's what we got going for us, guys.
Tradition of the
Thank you,
Grindbin.
Joel.
Yeah.
How many people's assholes are we going to have to see?
Well,
why
I've
they-
seen
well,
Rocco's.
That's why they don't call him Joel Winepoop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe in the new Steve Nakota film he's making, you will get to see the smash cut to his asshole. But we're definitely going to be checking that movie out. Chris and I did make the standing offer. We're talking about episode, I believe it's 19, Lost Faith.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the
Love
way.
it.
Absolutely love that movie. Check out that episode. Bobby, is way before your time.
It was, yes.
You were just
I wasn't even born yet.
a dirty thought in your father's head, you know? While Chris and I were doing this show.
Crusty spot on the mattress.
But check out that movie. He's making a sequel to Lost Faith. So Chris and I did offer he could kick our asses for real if he flew us out to Florida. We never got the email back. But
Now we're actually offering to fly ourselves out.
yeah, we will fly ourselves out,
Yeah.
Joel. So I know
Worth
one of
every
you.
penny.
I do know that somebody over there listens to this show. So let them know.
Yeah.
We're still ready for that interview, and you
We're
can
going
still
to
kick
be
us in
starting
the
a
nuts.
separate Patreon tier to get Chris and Mike out there.
Yeah, in Lost Faith too. So guys, this movie so hard to find. I have been to cons before with people that specialize in hard to find movies, and they hadn't even heard of this one, or they would just look at me like, "What? Nobody has that." And so finally, one day, after years of searching, I would just search every now and then because I'm like, I got to see this movie because I've heard so much about how bad it is. Finally, somebody put it somewhere that I wouldn't recommend going on the internet, but I found a copy.
Oh. Though I do like after countless times of you getting Jazzy Jeffed out the front door of a convention for looking for Demon Cop, you finally found it on some corner of the dark web.
Yeah. I needed my Tor browser to go on there. Went on a Silk Road.
Yep.
Got myself a copy.
From the library with their pants at your ankles.
Yep. The only way to get this movie otherwise is a UK version because it never came out in America. Not in any form, not in a VHS or DVD or anything. But in the UK, it is out on DVD.
Can we
and
talk about this
VHS.
UK DVD for a second? Because the cover, which I'm sure we'll use for all of our promotional stuff, it looks fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's holding handcuffs and he's in his cop gear and everything. It's like Wolf Cop. It's one of those types of deals. He never wears that in this film.
Well, now we're going to get to it, guys. It's called Demon Cop. Is there a demon and is there a cop?
No. This is kind of, sort of werewolf former corrections officer.
Yeah, it's about a...
It's guy who was once kind of a security guard who turns into a not that hairy werewolf.
Yeah. Well, okay. So now I finally kind of get it because I've watched this movie twice now in the matter of a week. And I get it. Like, it started to be a little bit clearer to me after the first watch. The first watch.
Oh, no.
I mean,
it
so
can't
this
be
is
done.
like a David Lynch movie, and that, like, you got to watch it multiple times.
Especially that like first 20.
Oh, I'd say the first 80.
It comes clear in the ending.
Yeah. Well, I finally figured out it's AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say it,
Yeah.
and it's like the whole thing is just he's
we talk
got
about
like
AIDS quite a bit.
some aggressive form of AIDS that doesn't. He never really explains that you're a demon. It's just some sort of Nazi AIDS.
Well, the idea was that from what I could gather, we're gonna stutter a lot on this one, trying to figure this all out.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of like a Captain America. The Nazis are trying to make a super soldier, and we've kind of taken the original research from that and tried to use that research to cure AIDS.
Yeah.
And we've made a demon cop.
A demon parole officer.
Yes, sorry, demon parole officer. Not a demon,
Whoops.
just an ugly parole officer.
Yeah, just like a Rocky Dennos type of mask situation.
It's kind of got a Rawhead Rex feel to it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you want to know a little bit about how this got made?
No,
because
Bobby,
that's
start the
where
van.
it starts. That's where it starts to really get interesting.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
One of the two directors, or should I say three directors, because one of them, well, neither of you guys know about it, but trust me, you know his name. Director one of two on IMDb
Okay.
is Rocco Correga. Now, Rocco is just a regular guy from Indiana.
Just minding his business.
Strangely just found his way to Hollywood at one point.
What, he got lost on the way to college?
Oh, well, Chris, I know his full
he fell
story.
asleep on the bus, and when they finally stopped, he was making Demon Cop.
You guys, I'm going to blow your fucking minds in about 3 minutes from now.
All right.
He strangely made his way to Hollywood at some point, which would make, it would make a great story on its own. And he somehow found his way into various TV shows and eventually directed a movie with his good friend, who's the other credited director of this, who's Hal Miles. Now, Hal Miles is a visual effects artist and special effects guy that is actually pretty successful. He worked on Terminator 2, Starship Troopers, The Abyss, The Postman, and many, many more big movies.
Wow.
Hal Miles and Rocco were good friends. And in fact, when they moved to L.A., Rocco allowed Hal to stay in his apartment for a while until they both got on their feet and found some steady jobs at studios and eventually worked their way up to being in things. Hal still lives in L.A. and he's still... actually, in 2011... It says, he's still in L.A., I believe.
And Rocco's still sleeping on his couch.
Well, I know a lot about Rocco, actually.
boy.
Pardon me. By the way, Rocco and Hal sounds like a sitcom we cover on the Minibin.
Yeah.
It could be.
These two bumbling roommates trying to make it in Hollywood.
It could be.
Bungling and bungholing.
Yeah. So this is the only movie Hal had directed until 2007 when he made a short, and he's kind of just tinkering around making some things, but he still does visual effects. In 2011, though, him and his wife co-founded the Animation Hall of Fame, which they oversee until today. So Hal Miles is doing just fine. But for Rocco, the other director,
Yes, tell us about Rocco's modern life.
he goes from Indiana, he moves to Hollywood, he has his Hollywood experience, and then he moves to Denver, where him and Hal made this movie.
Okay.
So this wasn't even made when he lived in L.A. and was working.
This is after they abandoned their dream.
Yes. So Rocco was able to appear as a little guest star in What's Happening.
Fantastic.
As a customer. That's just to his credit.
As a cool customer.
1987, he was in the movie Nuts, which is a Barbra Streisand and Richard Dreyfuss movie, as correction officer number 2.
Oh, shared universe?
Maybe. 1988, he was in something called Ricky 1, which is just some sort of Rocky parody.
Huh.
And then 1990 Demon Cop, and that's it. However, guys, he's written 2 books.
Have you noticed before you talk about the books that so often on our show when we go through this, the movie we're covering is the movie they stopped on?
Well, there's a reason.
All right.
He's written 2 books. They can both be found on Amazon. The first, here's the full title: What It's Like Performing in and out of Hollywood on stage, film, radio, and television, parentheses, meeting over 50 famous people. That's the full title of the book. It has no reviews, and it's only 52 pages long.
Whoa.
His second book, Lo and behold,
Ooh.
what it was like pursing, that's right, it's misspelled, it's not pursuing, he misspelled it as pursing the entertainment industry in and out of Hollywood on stage, film, and television.
Does that pursing the entertainment industry means he was hanging outside the Dolby Theater and stealing shit?
Maybe. By the way, the title's not done. Parentheses, Book 2, a more detailed version, except in short version of Book 1, quote, what it was like, end quote. That's the title of the book.
Oh, shit.
And you want to see a picture of it?
Oh my god, rainbow gradients.
Wow.
With impact font.
Now, here's the great thing about this, guys. This book is 122 pages, and I bought ourselves a copy for $3 on Google ebook.
Are we going to review it on the website?
Oh, no, so I could get a little bit of information about this movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
She's not
From
kidding.
Rocco himself. Now, it's 122 pages of basically Rocco going like, and then I saw this famous person, and then I saw that famous person.
Sure, this isn't the Deason autobiography?
It's like an interview with Eddie
It
Deason.
really,
I was just thinking that.
it really is. It's just
And I
him
met
going
this
like,
guy. Really nice guy.
yes, it is. The whole book is just him describing like, and then I was driving my car and I saw Mel Brooks and he came out and he hugged me and he was like, good to see you, buddy. And I don't know if he knew who I was or not. Then I got my car hit and I come out to see, who is it? Some actor from a TV show. And so he just bolds every famous person he's ever seen and chronicles it in this book that's either fact or fiction.
It's like
I
a
don't
map to
know.
the stars pamphlet, but in book form.
Yes. But why don't we take a little entry from the book here on when him and Hal Miles met Robert Englund.
All right.
Special effects artist Hal Miles and myself went to the debut of Godzilla 1985 at the Mann's Chinese Theater, named after the famous Chris Mann family. We were very surprised to see actor Robert Englund. He writes, by the way, he doesn't write it as Robert Englund. He writes it as Robert Englund.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
Freddy Krueger of Nightmare on Elm Street fame.
Is
On
that
the-
spelled correctly?
Yes.
It's not spelled with an I-E?
No.
Okay.
On the walkway leading to the theater entrance. We thought he was waiting for the next showing, and Hal wanted to meet him, recognizing him right away, stating how he's always wanted to meet him. Robert was very, very gracious and wonderful. He was practically delighted he can enjoy being in public without a load of people recognizing him. When we asked if he was waiting for the next showing, and boy, did his eyes bulge like he saw something shocking. No, he was waiting for his girlfriend to come out. She wanted to see the flick. Robert didn't want to see the film. He never liked Godzilla. It scared the stew out of him when he was a kid, and he hasn't forgot about it since. Boy, Hal and I laughed our butts off. Here is a guy who scared the stew out of thousands playing Freddy Krueger, and Godzilla scares the stew out of him?
Man.
You can read more of these in Rocco's book, Lo and Behold.
Hot tea from Rocco and Hal.
So here we go, guys. There's only 3 paragraphs about the making of Demon Cop. And this is when we start to get into very interesting territory for the Grindbin. Special effects artist Hal Miles wanted to finance and produce a screenplay I wrote called The Curse of Something Bestial. He felt it would be good for both us and could get distributed. He loved Denver and felt it was a perfect location for filming. The creature design and creation was what really intrigued him. He and his friend Jeff Farley, becoming my friend as well, was very good at making plaster molds and animatronic devices. Once designed, plaster had to cover my entire face and head. After 20 minutes, it was removed, and plaster was poured into the first molding. When completed, a full plaster form of my face and head was achieved, like a wax dummy without the wax. The purpose was to design a, quote, werewolf-type facial creature. The body outfit would be designed separately. It took 6.5 hours of makeup to produce the entire creature for filming. That's it. One day.
Wow.
Helping Hal with the process was Patrick Denver, son of famous actor Bob Denver of Gilligan's Island fame. It was 5 days of filming.
5 days.
5 days.
Less than a week. 5 working
completely
days.
believe it.
Yeah.
And 4 months.
What they do with the other 3 days.
4 months of editing.
What?
I mean, it was off again, on again, off again of editing, right? Not just 4 months.
Not
Just
4
like
months straight. There's no way.
4 months of editing.
I mean,
He
we're talking editors forgetting about it. And then going, oh shit, right, and then going back 3 weeks
right.
later.
Like, oh god, it's work. Ralph says me scheduled for like 2 weeks straight. I can't get to this project. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Hal then returned to LA to shop the 80-minute flick around for distribution. Within 6 months, somebody bought it.
Oh, she falls over the grind bin.
Okay.
This is so dramatic. This is intense.
This
We're on the edges of
movie
our seats.
was not intended to be what it is. Okay. This was
Okay.
a drama that he made called The Curse of Something Bestial. And then the person who bought this movie changed it. And they decided that the name Demon Cop would be better, despite there not being a demon or a cop, and changed the cover to have a picture of a guy dressed up in a cop uniform. He then hired Cameron Mitchell, a la Ed Wood style, to do basically the intro and outro, pull the strings.
That's why we have these weird, disinterested bookends.
Yeah.
Actually, the footage of Cameron Mitchell had nothing to do with this movie at all.
Which is
The
why
man-
he doesn't talk about this movie in the bookends.
The third director of this movie
Oh, 3 directors.
had often hired people to just film bookends to things, and he would
Just
put
to
them
use
in
later?
movies. Yeah.
Oh my! This was stock Cameron Mitchell footage.
Wow.
Yes.
that he just had.
Yes, he re-edited. Then the director re-edited this film to make it to more of a thriller. Added like ADR stuff to it because, as we could tell, some of the characters don't have the same voices or any
No.
of that.
Oh, God.
There's a
no.
lot of people talking with their backs turned.
He then named it Demon Cop. Realized he could never sell it in the U.S. Sold it overseas. This man is completely uncredited, except for one little interview. And this man is a Grindbin all-star.
What?
This man is Fred Olen Ray.
Huh.
The director of Bob Boss and Beverly Hills Vamp and Hollywood
Jesus
Chainsaw
Christ.
Hookers
God
is responsible
damn it.
for Demon Cop.
I should have recognized the stench.
He says it's the worst movie he's ever made.
And that's saying something.
So, guys, he's completely... If Fred
This is a
Olen Ray...
Fred Olen Ray joint,
Which, by the way, Rocco does mention him in the book. He spells his name wrong.
but says he met him and he was a nice guy.
He says, no, he just says he bought it and decided to release it overseas as Demon Cop. It was never released in the United States.
Fred Onion Roy.
So there you go, guys.
Oh,
Fred Onion Ryan.
Grindbin All-Star, Fred Olen Ray,
uh,
director of Eddie Deazen's classics, Mob Boss, and Beverly Hills Vamp.
I thought we weren't gonna do Fred Olen Ray.
I thought you
movies
didn't have any
anymore.
honors whatsoever.
Gotcha!
You son of a bitch!
No, he's
Got
not
you with a
honorary.
secret Olen Ray movie.
You motherfuckers are the cause of my suffering.
So now, do you see why this was such a fun reveal to
Oh
hide from you
my
for
God.
a full week?
Let's make this a quick one.
So, guys, the cast...
Suddenly, man has somewhere to be.
The cast has never done anything else except for Cameron
Oh,
Mitchell.
surprise, surprise.
Actually, the police chief was in a few things, which I could see because he's kind of capable, I guess, at delivering lines, which nobody else is. So this movie, it starts with the Cameron Mitchell intro.
And he's just sitting at a desk, chain smoking.
Yeah. So this is some Fred Olen Ray stock footage that he would just basically get an actor like Cameron Mitchell, and he'd be like, look, can I just hire you to come to the office? I'm going to film a few things with you, and I'll find movies. Because basically Fred Olen Ray would just, if he didn't direct it himself, he would, buy some shitty movie like Demon Cop or The Curse of Something Bestial and be
Slap
like,
this frame on it.
I can make
and
something
release it
out
as
of
his
it.
own.
Yeah, and then put it on video. You're the sucker who rented it in the video store thinking you were going to see a Demon Cop. And you bring it home, you turn it off after 10 minutes, and you go, you got me again. Wait, his name's not on the box.
Wait, who the hell? What? As he's running away with the $3 you gave him.
But
So
he
that
would,
explains why Cameron Mitchell is doing this sort of vague, boring crypt keeper.
yes.
And he's talking about the files of the damned at his insane asylum, and this is a story.
This is
Boys and
just
ghouls.
like in the movie Ed Wood when he does that footage
Yeah.
with Bela Lugosi that he's like, I'm just saving it for the right moment.
Yeah.
And then he puts in the pull the strings, it's the same type of thing. So apparently Fred Olen Ray would collect footage like this all the time.
Wow.
And so he would film a movie with nobody famous in it and then just be like, there, look, it's got Cameron Mitchell
And
in
then
it.
that's
Put it
top
on the
billing
box.
when they put the box.
Yeah.
Just, it's Demon Cop starring Cameron Mitchell.
I mean, for all the shit we give Fred Olen Ray, the guy's smart. Like, he knows how to make money off of garbage. And
I can't hate on that.
No, he's...
There is a part of me that respects you, Fred Olen Ray.
I mean, he's got like 100 movies that he's made.
But Herschel
so-
Gordon Lewis, he is not.
No, I would say he's more like the bargain bin Roger Corman.
Oh,
and that
that's a
like
good way of
Roger
putting
Corman
it.
has respect, and Fred Olen Ray's like just at the bottom of a Walmart bin.
Right. Yeah.
He's Roger Corman, however Rocco would have spelled that. He's the cheap knockoff.
So Bobby, Cameron Mitchell's on screen talking vaguely about
And
something.
he mentions a few other files of loons that he's
I
had
believe
to
he
deal
says
with.
folder of the damned.
Yeah, and at one point he's talking about one of the cases. He says, "This is a woman who found that putting her head in the oven would do more than make a cake thaw." All right.
Okay, but that's not the movie we're watching, Cameron. Or
Yeah.
is this?
And then he does the whole like, now this file. Oh, this one's gonna shake it to your bones. And he looks so bored.
Yeah.
Like he's not trying to sell this at all. The Crypt Keeper, he is not.
No, this was the end
Nor
of
is
the
he
long day.
Elvira.
Yeah, this was like the last of the Cameron Mitchell footage he had. He was like, I could slap this on some. Finally, I got it.
This one is a woman who found that putting her head into the oven could do more than make a cake fall.
Okay, guys, the first 20 minutes of this movie, nearly incomprehensible. And when I start explaining things, the audience is going to be like, what?
Yep.
What we're going to say is still more coherent than the movie itself, because it's almost an impossible watch.
Yeah, it's almost entirely. It feels like it's almost entirely all done in ADR. It would have been served better as a radio drama, like one of those
That is
old
in my
timey.
notes, actually,
yeah.
because so much of this is just VO.
I would
Yeah.
just say it should never be. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be listened to, shouldn't be watched.
This is some
Yeah.
banged up audio cassette that you found that said "The Curse of the Demon Cop."
The
Or like,
problem
yeah.
with this movie is, though, like, as it goes on and they try to clarify things, it gets more confusing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do themselves any favor. It's like, stop telling me information because you're making it worse.
Because the footage isn't matching up. It's just a mishmash of. It's almost like a bad music video.
Yeah, because all we have footage is like people walking. At one point, we're
Yeah.
coming soon, we have a literal foot chase, and I say literal because we spend the whole chase just focused on feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just watching pairs of feet. I thought Billie Jean was going to start playing at double speed.
Oh, and then you
Doing
start to
great.
find out that he's done some sort of memento editing where, like, you're playing with time jumps. It's like, am I watching Westworld or Demon Cop? Because
Man,
this is
I want to see
what the
Memento
fuck?
starring the Demon Cop. What's the last thing you remember, Demon Cop?
My wife.
Oh, the Demon Cop voice, by the way, Rocco, giving it your all,
Oh
bud.
God, it's
Loved
like
it.
the Cookie Monster and Bill Cosby.
Yeah, it
at
has
once.
sort of a Dr. Teeth sound to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should tag him in the Twitter, because I do feel like Rocco is genuinely a nice guy. He still does like local video
Hey,
stuff
you know
in
what?
Denver. He has like
We all
100.
think Deason's legitimately a nice guy, but we're still going to talk shit on him.
Yeah, so Rocco has a Twitter, and he only has like 12 people
Why the
following
hell aren't we
him.
reaching out to him?
I might.
Let's get an interview with him.
I would love to do an interview about Demon
Rocco-
Cop.
Let's sit him down and do like a half hour talking about Demon Cop.
Oh, yeah. Listeners, let us know if you'd like to. Don't bother him. Please don't bother him, okay? But, like,
Listeners, I don't care if you want this. I'm going to try and make this happen.
And make sure you hashtag it Rocco My World.
Oh my god. So the interesting way of presenting the opening credits of this, we're doing a bunch of weird blood wipes, special effects wise.
Oh,
oh, wait,
God.
hold on. We haven't got there yet. Before we get
We
there,
haven't
there's a
gotten to the
second
opening
cold
credits yet?
opening.
I'm sorry, please.
Because there's a shot of a school, like a university or something, and this music, like Casio type of music is playing.
Video game music again.
Then you just cut to, I'm going to read this, cut to night or something, guy covered in a spider web, man with a gun,
Oh, that, yeah.
demon snarling,
Yeah.
then the credits start.
Yeah.
What was with the what's this? I didn't understand any of it.
An
Like,
ancient
you're like,
evil has been awakened, Mike.
So this will never come back in the movie,
No.
but the demon gets you with spider webs or something? Or is that just like a whole, like, spookies type of situation?
I think that's
Like,
all.
that's
It was.
just...
Like just a guy ran into that spider lady.
Stock footage.
Yeah,
footage.
it's Fred Olen Ray had it lying around. He's like, "What that one with that guy
Like-
that got the spider web on
Yeah.
him?"
It's like when you record over something on an old tape. It's just sort of like it started playing Beverly Hills Vamp 2, and then it goes, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, Demon Cop."
Oh man, he should have edited Deason into this.
Oh, missed opportunity. This in Beverly Hills Vamp would have been great.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the subplot. What would be the subplot?
Oh my God, here it is! Like he should have
Yeah.
just took the Beverly Hills Vamp, our Patreon episode you could hear on the Patreon,
Yeah.
and just mix it with Demon Cop.
Man, if Demon Cop ended with Eddie Deason driving a stake into his heart and going, "Die, bitch, die!"
So, Bobby, explain to us the actual CG credit sequence.
CG is really generously being used.
Yeah, we're doing some 8-bit Nintendo shit here because like they do this blood wipe that goes ooh across the screen.
So that's clearly Fred Olen Ray, right?
oh yeah.
Because the real credits are only just they wrote the credits on chalk on a brick wall.
Yeah, this
Which
is
looks
like,
nice enough for
This
1990.
is Chester Novelle Turner level of
yeah.
opening credits.
But Fred Olen Ray's like, spice it up, baby.
It needs
Yeah.
something.
He's like, get those presets we got on the video editor.
Give me that
you know?
Turbo Graphics music.
And how many times can we put his name on the brick wall for each person?
Okay, I write that Hal Miles is credited as both the producer
Yeah.
and executive producer, and
Yeah.
I go, why?
Well, because he produced it, but then he also did that executively,
Because he's like,
which means he was wearing a tie half the time.
yeah, he's like, I think I should get 2 credits for producing. Like one, Rocco, is there a difference between producer and executive? He goes, I don't know which one's better. I should just put both,
I don't know
right?
how
Yeah.
these jobs work, but I'm both of them.
I know, because, well, and then last credits, in the opening credits, they stay on his name for like 3 seconds longer than they did on everyone else. So that means you're executive. That's what that
There you
means.
go. Yeah. And maybe, I guess, Hal Miles put up his own money for
Yeah.
the movie. Who knows? You know,
Fool.
all $50 that him and Gilligan's son made.
Him and Gilligan Jr.
It's 6 hours one day.
Brought him a new
and they're
hat.
like, hey guys, we can film a movie. We got a week off for work, right? At the McDonald's.
Oh, no, I'm still waiting for that shift trade.
And so, by the way, we learned that this movie is filmed in Aurora Hills in Denver.
All right.
Like, so they keep saying it over and over again. I'm like, I get it.
They got to sell that, man.
Is this like a commercial for the homeowners association over there?
They were slid a 10 from the tourism
Yeah.
board.
It looks like Chino Hills in the 90s, actually. That
Yeah. So like
neighborhood.
somebody has a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is hard
Either
to believe.
Rocco or Hal, one
Yeah.
of them has a house or a friend of theirs.
I think
because
they're squatting.
this whole movie is filmed in that house. Even the police station, everything is filmed in that house. Any interior is the house.
I half expected each different location to have the chalk on the wall saying police station.
Yeah.
There's a part where the chief is sitting behind a desk, but when you cut to the reverse, it's clearly a kitchen where the cops are standing, and they're like standing in front of like a regular cabinet, and the coffee maker is like right below them. That they've blocked it so weird is like they used every inch of this house, and I guess to good effect.
Yeah, you can respect that. And looking at these shots, like you think back to when you helped your friends do a small film for a class project back in
Yeah.
high school, and
Yeah.
and now you're like, man, we were on our shit back then.
Yeah, man, we
I
should
didn't
have.
realize. Like we knew what we were doing, man.
You mean I could have spread that out to 80 minutes and sold it to Fred Olen Ray? For fuck's sake! What?
Ruined my life.
God damn it! So then we go to a gun running down a suburban street. Is what I write, because we just see like a gun, and then we see some feet following it. Just feet.
And
Lots
heavy,
of breathing.
A lot of breathing.
And then, whoa, one of the feet runs into a car and does like a sweet roll over the top of it, right?
This is like a stunt out of Dolomite.
And then the other feet walk away, and we just cut to lips talking. And I guess this is the radio?
And when I saw lips talking, I thought, oh, we're in the monkey's house.
Yes.
That's all
another
this is.
Patreon episode, as you can see, the new monkeys. Or upside down face.
We're doing kind of a Warriors thing where we have a woman's mouth. We got people running. We got shots of feet, and then all right, Boppers, the demon cops made it to the. You're shaking your head no.
I just don't even know what it says. It's just something about like there's a bunch of killers and go down and buy a car tonight at 9.
It's like every
What?
character who shows up in this movie to deliver exposition is not on the same page with the other characters about what's going on in this story.
No,
It's sort of a game of telephone.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that Fred Olen Ray got high as shit, watched this screener, was laughing his ass off, and goes like, I could make something out of this.
Yeah.
Then he wakes up the next day after he'd already sent a check over, and he goes, oh, fuck! What am I going to do with this?
I don't think this movie has a script. I think this was an improv exercise.
5 days. Rocco says he wrote the script. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like he just told each actor in each scene who they are and said, go for it. See what happens.
Guys,
Feel it out.
There's 2 women in this movie. It took me until all the way to the end to realize that one of them was in scenes when I thought it was the other one.
Yeah.
And then when the big reveal, I would say the big twist, 80 minutes into the movie, you're like, oh. Well, that makes sense why she was doing that the whole time. huh. So we go to a hotel room, right? And I say, okay, someone just literally left the fucking camera on the bed because they forgot the tripod. And all you see is like a shirtless fat guy sit down on a bed.
Yep.
Well, he's got pants on, thank God.
Oh, God.
But he just sits down. We don't see his face. We just see the bottom of him as, again,
This is
somebody
very
forgot the
voyeuristic.
tripod.
Oh, it feels like one of those like sting operations for prostitution.
Yeah.
This is the hidden camera.
Like a To Catch a Predator type
Right.
of video, you
Yeah.
know?
The HKPD were in the other room.
Yeah, with headphones on and watching the monitors.
This dude's
getting
about to
ready.
get the biggest of the biggest.
Oh, yeah. So I just feel like Rocco's like, Hal, you got the tripod, right? And he's like, the what? He's like, man, you didn't say anything about tripod. Like, I got the camera. I thought that was enough. Tripod's like $50, Rocco. What are we going to do? That's all right. I'll hold it for most of the movie. But this scene, we'll just put it on the bed because the bed just like a tripod, right?
Look, you want it to hold still. Bed's not going anywhere.
He goes, we can't see his face. He's like, no. It's mysterious. We'll just see the bottom of him. And then a man will sit on a bed, make a phone call, and he's a German, right? So you're a German,
He's
sir.
a German half the time.
And nobody can deliver their lines that we've hired, so we'll just not film their mouths, and we'll just replace it all later.
Which is amazing because, listeners, a thing that is a constant throughout this film is just about every character, at least once or twice throughout this movie, flubs their line.
Oh,
And
multiple
like,
times.
Takes it back from one.
But
like, we're going
Rocco-
to do the line over again. We're not cutting shit out. We got to make it to 80 minutes.
Well, I mean, Rocco has given them, like, everybody talks in manifestos. Like, every single person, not even just, like, a monologue. It's like a fucking manifesto. They all, like, go through just like pages and pages and pages of dialogue as they just recite this to people. So they're just like, man, I can't take it again.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking believe I remembered all those
Every
words.
interaction in this movie is more than you should ask an actor to do.
Because this
Yeah.
guy on the bed, the German guy, who has my favorite accent, he's just... It sounds like a guy from Blood Diner. Like, it sounds like
Oh my God, you're
the
right.
dad from Blood Diner
Yeah.
almost.
Oh, shit.
Or Uncle Anwar,
Yeah.
you know? He's just like, oh, my name is Bloodhound. And he calls this radio
Great name, by
station,
the way.
and he says, I'm trying to call... And it's not even German, really.
He's trying to, but he can't.
It's almost like a weird Polish.
It is more
with-
Polish than German, yeah. And then when you start to find out this guy's background, you're just like, Rocco, what the fuck, man? But he's like, hey, why are you not taking my threats to this radio station seriously? And the lady's like, what? We
I don't know,
don't.
because you're clearly putting on a voice. We
Yeah,
assume you're a crank call.
He goes, do you think that people from Europe are all prank calling you? And she's like, well, yeah, with your voice, yeah.
No, yeah, look, we know you're the Jerky Boys. Stop it.
Sal?
This is Bloodhound. What happened to the announcement?
It was rejected. You think we take pranks seriously?
Are most Europeans perceived as pranks?
I don't make the rules.
Your station became a legitimate accomplice to murder last night.
Listen, you.
How do you know I don't have a bomb planted somewhere in Denver, Miss Harper? Or some other insidious terrorist plot?
I just read, I don't know what he says. He just hangs up at some point, but he's rambling on and on and on and on about something. Then we cut to a car, some guy driving, sounds of gunshots or something. Bloody guy jumps out his windshield.
Kind of smears the windshield a little bit.
Yeah, they gotta get that Smucker's jam just right on that windshield.
Then we just cut to him talking with these two guys about it, just like outside the car. He's like, yeah, and then some guy hit my car.
I was driving along, and I heard these two shots, and with all this gang news going on, you know, this guy just ran into my car. Which way did he come from? I don't know.
We're going to find out, guys. I don't know if you know this. This was a time jump.
Yeah.
This is from the beginning of the movie when the guy rolled over his car. Now we're following that guy that was driving the car.
This is very Christopher Nolan-esque.
And then he goes to these guys and he's like, yeah, hey, some crazy guy hit my car. Then we go to the back door of a house as it opens, and these guys run out. The sound effect of a dog barking, but it's clearly a man. It's just like Fred Olen Ray going, woof, got it.
Was he standing in the doorway pretending that he was being attacked?
Yeah, he's getting pulled through the door by the imaginary dog, like our Patreon episode, How to Be Cool at Parties. So the sound effect of a dog, clearly it's Fred Olen Ray doing the bark. Then we cut to demon teeth. Then we just cut to guys in the backyard going like, man, that thing got away.
It took off like a pole vaulter.
And he goes, see what it did to my dog? We don't. We don't know. What are you talking about?
We don't get to see shit in this movie.
This is like in
The dog's wearing a bow tie and a hat. You're like, wait, how does that?
This is
you
like
see what it did? Man. And these cutaways to the demon teeth are like those brief glimpses of Pazuzu in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You just suddenly there's just a face going, and then you go back to, hey, what happened to my dog?
That's like Rocco. He's like, it worked at Exorcist, right?
It's scary. We're building intrigue. We're increasing the tension.
I didn't get a good look at him, but my dog did. You can see what it did to him.
Well, I heard you shooting. Did you hit him?
I don't think so.
Man, he took off like a pole vaulter.
Like, this is just like an older episode we've done, Quad Ed Zone, where there's that scene when they come home from the funeral home and they just start having a conversation that the movie's, like, the audience is not privy to. And we're like, okay, well, I guess they'll finish and then we'll get back to the movie because I don't know what they're talking about.
When I watch a movie, I want to feel like I walked in on something where I don't belong. I'm sorry, guys. I'll come back.
Like, here's the thing. You film a scene, you don't get the reverse. They're like, hey, we're done for today. Sorry. We didn't get any of that demon running around, any of the dog, none of that. We just got the guys coming out talking about it. I feel like if they talk about it, and then maybe we just cut to the Exorcist shot, people understand that the demon was there.
You know how in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you don't really see a lot of gore, but you feel like you did? That's what we're going for here. Like, I swear I saw it. He described it so well.
I think I saw the demon.
I remember that part where the demon rode the dog like a little pony.
They're doing like a Jaws thing, but you don't want to show it to the very end.
Yeah. Well, or just, in a couple minutes.
Right, exactly. They think so, yeah.
We're 7.5 minutes into this movie. And I can't tell you
what this movie
what is going on.
I can't quite tell this is a movie so far.
This is like when you're like taking video production classes and you're learning how to use the linear editing machine.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck. You're like getting in the wrong buttons. The wrong time is coming on. You're like, oh, fuck. And the teacher's
you're
about
like,
to,
just fuck it. I got to turn it in tomorrow, Fred Olen Ray says this is on shelves in England tomorrow, so I got to get him the cut.
We got people shillings in hand.
Okay, this might be one of my favorite scenes. It's just so nonsensical and so poorly made. We cut to a drink being poured, right? Then we zoom out. A lady drinks. She's distressed. She gets up from her chair. She looks at the tape on the floor to see where her blocking is for the scene. She walks slowly to one spot, turns like a robot, walks slowly to another spot, turns, starts walking upstairs. We never cut.
No,
it
is
never
one
cut.
Continuous shot.
And you know what's amazing?
Fucking brilliant.
For half the shot, your actress is out of frame. Yep. You cannot see her, and they just left all of it in there.
What are we going to do, move the bed?
Then she goes upstairs. She's now in a room. She pulls out a gun from a drawer, and you just hear that. Well, you see the demon hand come in and grab her arm.
Well, technically, I couldn't tell that was demon hands.
Well, it is demon hand.
I know who it is, but I'm saying
it's like a half
when
demon.
it happened, I was like, I don't know, some fat dude just grabbed her.
And she says, Edward, you don't understand, Edward.
And you know what? Me neither.
And then he takes her off screen, and the gun drops to the ground, cut.
And we, man, is that the point we see him as the demon at that point?
Nope.
No, all we've seen was his arms.
Okay.
Yeah, we've just seen an arm and a gun.
Right.
It's a slow build. It's like a Twilight Zone. You can't give it all away. You gotta build the suspense.
This could have used a Serling. Just a guy to step into frame and go, "Here's what you just watched."
Yeah, exactly.
Just
you
want to clear this up.
So look,
Fred Olen Ray himself should have stepped in and be like, "Look, here's what I'm working with. Here's what they gave me."
Yeah, Fred Olen should.
My conscience is clear.
He always does his look, I know I'm a piece of shit in front of every one of his movies.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't blame me, blame society.
Yeah,
I'm a victim of circumstance.
A real Judd Apatow.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just telling the stories, and you're the idiot buying them. So,
I love that about him. I respect that, where he'll start all of his shit movies with, "Hey, this is on you, pal. You rented this."
And they're like, gotcha.
No one held a gun to your head.
Yeah. And everybody is like, God damn it, I didn't check the director credit again. So here's the thing. I want Fred Olen Ray to toasty in this movie. Like, to just do the Mortal Kombat. He just pops in the bottom of the screen and goes, look, guys, this is all the footage they had. What do you expect, huh? He's a demon.
Just a shrug.
And he goes, whoop. Wouldn't it be better if he was a demon cop? Just saying.
But he's not. Yep. Anyway, bye.
Man, that would have made it better. Or maybe Cameron Mitchell just Just
stock
overlay a
footage
little
of
more.
Cameron Mitchell.
Yeah, overlay a more camera. Is this the Cameron Mitchell footage like they found kind of like in Ed Wood? How this was like after Bela Lugosi died. This was his last reel.
You know, in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, when they cut to the guy going, "It's just a jump to the left."
Yeah.
we need Cameron Mitchell just looking up from like a newspaper, like, huh? And then go back to the film.
This was his final footage. You know, this was it. This was the last thing he put to magnetic tape.
Man.
Cameron
It really
Mitchell.
puts into perspective Raul Julia playing M. Bison before he died.
Yeah, Cameron Mitchell's family's like, well, fuck you, Raul Julia, all right? Cameron Mitchell's last movie was Demon Cop. All right? You complain about frickin' Street Fighter. Vaya con Dios, Raul. That's at the beginning of that movie. So we go to the police station.
Doesn't this movie have a tribute at the end, too?
Oh.
Like they have a "this film was dedicated to," and not to dead people at the time, but like people that inspired them. Like at the end of this film, because of the special effects, they're like, I know Dick Smith was one of them. That they were like, hey, you know, this is dedicated to Dick Smith. You know, I imagine Dick just like, hey, keep my name out your mouth.
Do you think Bob Denver went to the premiere of this? He saw his son. He's like, I hear my son worked on some movie with a demon in it.
Follow-up question: how many high was Bob Denver at the premiere for this?
He just walks. He goes, man. And I thought Gilligan's Island was bad, right? Not the show. I mean the island.
Mid-film, he just stands up.
Yeah, he just goes, Skipper, get us the fuck out of here.
Starts doing a tight five on this film.
Yeah, he turned into the skipper that night. He was just he stood up. He's like, I've had enough, dum-dum. So then we cut to a police station, and the chief, the guy who's the only competent actor in this whole movie, he's been in like 10 TV shows. So, you know, I bet he had just such an air of superiority around the set.
He
just
was
like
king fuck on this set.
Oh, definitely. And you know, he's like some sort of fucking method dude. Like he's just sitting there. He's like,
you only call me Chief.
Yeah. He's like, Rocco's come over. He's like, oh, hey, Paulie. Chief, Rocco, Chief.
Gonna give him a quick pat down.
Yeah, he actually does. He
throw him
brings
against
out
the
the
wall.
handcuffs. He's like, yeah,
disrespect an officer on him halfway
again,
through
right?
the set. What's this? What's this bag?
So the chief, he's like, hey, okay, you guys, I'm sorry you can't take your vacation. And some guy is talking about how he was gonna go to Hawaii. Like, so he's talking to these two cops, and this one guy. This is going to be a through line for the whole movie, is this guy talking about his Hawaiian vacation that he couldn't take because the chief says, for some reason you can't go on vacation because you got to work a case. The case, I don't know what it is. Something about gang members and AIDS and like drugs.
Some kind of AIDS gang.
There's a lot of shit going on in Denver right now. It's 1990, and
Have
this
you seen
shit.
Denver? It's a war zone.
Yeah, it is. It's a war zone. It's bad, man. And so then I just write, oh my fucking
Denver
god.
still doesn't have clean water, you guys.
I just write, oh my fucking god, it's all 80 yard. Everything is 80 yard.
yeah.
The Chiefs lines are 80 yard off screen. And here's the thing. You think with ADR, right, that you'll just fill in the audience with what's going on? They just fill the ADR with garbage.
Just small talk.
Like, it is. It's like Bobby says, like an improv. It's like, just keep talking about gangs and stuff. It'll all work out.
Yeah, I mean, at least give it the effect that there's some spaciousness in the sound. They're just like have them right up to the mic as if you're like right in earshot, and there's no ambient like acoustical.
Exactly. You can hear the buzz of the microphone.
Yeah.
Right. The room noise.
Yeah. Drives me nuts.
And him, like they recorded this on Rocco's kitchen table or Fred Olen Ray's pantry, you know. You just hear like, yeah, gang members, there's gangs. Also, you're going to be on a homeless murder case. It somehow connects to the other case. And then, yeah, there's more murders. That's basically what it is, but it takes him 5 minutes to say this. Then we cut to German guy driving his car. So
it sounds like he's just, because we're doing the voiceover thing, and I don't know where it's coming from. I thought he was listening to like an Austrian podcast
because
just during his commute.
It's just him driving. He doesn't move his lips, but
he's talking.
He's talking to his German wife on the phone, who's Fred Olen Ray, just doing a German lady voice or something.
So it's him thinking back on a conversation he had. Is my assumption as to what they're trying to tell us here.
Yeah.
Do you think that this German character just didn't exist? Like, do you think that Fred Olen Ray did the whole German thing? Because you never actually see him
like,
talk.
there was no Nazi stuff. There was no German stuff.
Like, none of it actually comes out of his mouth.
He just decided that's a German guy.
Yeah, he's like, that guy looks like a German
he looks
Nazi.
kind of like an old Nazi.
Yeah. maybe we can do some
This
sort
guy
of
looks
Nazi
like he
twist.
was just following orders.
Yeah, as Fred Olen comes up from his fifth line of the day. Fifth line of the hour. Of the half hour.
Yeah.
As he tells the other, he's like, yeah, something about fucking Nazis and something. Can you get these in here or something? Maybe he'd do spice it up like he did for the beginning of Beverly Hills Vamp, where he just tells us about the town or something. I don't know, man. We got to get something going on. There's Germans, Nazis. Everybody loves it. Let's do it, baby. So this guy's he's driving around, just looking out the window, and there's a conversation between him and his wife about something about how he's come to America because he's got to warn the Yankees about the new AIDS.
He does say Yanks at one point.
Yeah. He keeps saying it. He's like, I got to warn these Yanks about new AIDS. And how there's some sort of...
It's like new Coke.
Yeah. It's like new AIDS makes you foam at the mouth and become a demon or something.
Yeah. It's only going to last as long as the marketing does, so we can rest easy.
And so then he's like, I'm trying to warn people, but for some reason I call the radio station and they don't take me seriously. And they're like, what about the children? What about our children? We live in a shoe. And he's... He's like, I'll be back soon, wife. I don't know what accent I'm doing. Go to...
Neither do I, Mike.
I write, amazing performance alert. Amazing performance alert. My favorite character in the whole movie. There's this police interrogation filmed in Rocco's kitchen.
God.
We're going to play this guy's lines.
All of them.
I didn't cop the dime bag from him.
Where, Tanner? Come on.
I don't drop names and locations.
But you're willing to drop in cover for gang-banging pals, Joe. Why do you rough and readies ain't ready to take the rap when you red and blues are brought in here?
All I did was drop by to loan him some money.
And that was all you did, right?
That's right.
Yeah, right. You and God knows how many others were there to knock his ass off, Joe.
Bullshit! If you didn't do anything, how'd you get caught by undercover officers?
All I did was drop by to loan him some money. When I was going back to my ride, I heard a noise. Some man was beating up on Spongy.
One of your fellow gangbangers.
A man who came out of nowhere. He just kept beating on him.
And that's all he was doing?
That's all he was doing.
And you didn't participate not once, huh?
That's right. I didn't know what was going down. All I could think of was getting the fuck out of there.
And smacked into an unmarked car and got busted.
That's right.
The way he says that,
That's
he's
how
just
he
like,
says it.
Yeah.
I got it out. I got it out. And Rocco's like, yeah, I think we're good. We only got 5 days,
There are no
man.
second takes in this film.
No.
None.
So we're watching...
So you get great phrases because of that, like, he's lying up his ass. No, out his... Okay, fine. You know what?
Up his ass.
He's lying up his ass.
Whatever. I write, what in the fuck is happening? So the cops are now interrogating a guy, and then, oh my God, here we go. We get it. The flashback. So we learn that this, like 20 minutes into the movie, we're going to go back to the first scene of this movie. Yep. This is the guy running away from the demon in the beginning of the movie who hit the windshield.
Yep.
He says, look, man, I was like on a drug deal, and they got my pal Spongy.
They were beating up on Spongy.
And we just see
There's a brief shot of Spongy getting like thrown against a garage door.
God, getting the works.
Just legs, though. We never see
Getting-
faces.
Yeah.
It's just legs,
Like,
because again,
low and from behind. We have like an ass shot of somebody beating up poor Spongy.
they couldn't afford the tripod, or they could only... The tripod they bought didn't rise up. How you're supposed to buy the tripod that could go up more than 2 feet?
It's okay though. That angle really helps frame just how badly Spongy is soaking up an ass beating.
I think the tripod is just a skateboard with a stack of books on top of it.
It
They kinda
might
just
be,
roll it around.
or like I could see Hal being like, no, Rocco, I heard that Steven Spielberg filmed E.T. all in child height, so that's the thing, man. Like it works.
This
dude.
is our E.T.
Yeah, he's like, man, because you're like a kind of an E.T. demon, you know? And he's like, dude, if you think it'll work, man, let's roll. How mysterious, a fight scene where you just see the feet? Then we don't need to choreograph it. So we just see, like you said, an ass shot of some guy beating a guy's ass. The drug dealer guy runs away, and that's when he, like, hits the car.
Right, yeah.
And then we just cut back to the cops and the chief now, and they're like, we can't trust that guy.
This is where we had he's lying up his ass.
He's lying up his ass. And I write, they seem like they have a case that's happening. I don't know, though. I'm listening very hard, but I don't know.
No, there's more questions.
Something about somebody opening a car dealership. I'm not kidding. He says it. There's something opening a car dealership, and there are gangs.
Yeah, ribbon cutting at the grand new...
But the killings are the gangs, or are they not?
As they say at one point during this about this gang activity, it's these assholes are trying to turn our class environment into a gangland.
Okay, here's the thing, though. They end the scene and they go, but actually the killings might not have to do anything with the gangs.
Right. After all that.
There's a whole big scene and they go, or maybe not.
They literally talk for 3 minutes about gangs and car dealerships and
just
all
a
this
hunch.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but maybe none of that's...
Destroy it off.
All right,
Right.
there's a chance it's not a car dealer gang. All right.
Then we go to the radio station. Bloodhound calls the radio. Okay, because the German guy calls himself Bloodhound. I don't know if we mentioned that.
And he keeps calling a radio station going, yeah, this is Bloodhound.
Yeah, and he
Like,
goes...
This is a character on a morning zoo. This is just like, hey, it's Wolfman Jack, and I'm calling about the demon cop.
He's just trying to get a radio gig,
Yeah.
is the whole thing. He's like, he told his wife and kids that lived in the shoe, he's like, fuck you, I'm going to America to be on the radio. You'll see. You'll see.
It's like, it's Bloodhound and the Squash in the morning.
So he's like, hey, radio DJ lady, can I meet you? Also, she doesn't really have a name because at one point Bloodhound just calls her the radio lady.
Yeah.
That's all he knows her as.
That's what I called her in my notes, too. I was like, hey, we share that in common.
You have a lot in common with the Bloodhound.
Yeah, I think so.
You're the Bloodhound of this show, for
we
sure.
both call up radio stations and go on and on and on about Nazi AIDS. And I mean, I've called Coast to Coast a number of times going, listen, George. It's the Nazi AIDS, okay? That's what's going to get us. Fuck global warming, am I
like
right?
Pat Robertson.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the Nazis, they got the stuff.
Yeah.
They got it on their rings. They shake your hand, they give you the AIDS. You turn into a demon cop.
Foam at the mouth, next thing you know, you're a demon. And you're letting people out on parole. It's crazy.
That's it. You know what's happening? Not enough Jesus.
So then the next thing is I write, I don't know, is the scene heading, because they flash to some sort of graphic and something about a wife dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll later learn that like this is a flashback that Rocco is having, Rocco or Edward or the demon cop, demon parole officer, about how they'll explain this multiple times, but the story changes slightly. But what I could surmise from the whole movie, from all 80 minutes, was at some point in time, Rocco was helping a woman who got raped, who was a gang member. And then at the same time he tried to help her, he got hit by a drive-by shooting that also killed his wife and kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it killed his wife, his kid, and the ice cream man. All got taken out in the same drive-by shooting.
Everybody just got taken out at the same time that he was helping a rape victim.
And at the same time, he was struck by lightning and bit by a cobra.
And I was like, wait, did the killers rape that lady, or was it just not related?
Again, improv exercise.
Denver is like a war zone. So Denver in the 90s, man. Fuck.
I mean, we were too young to know, but apparently...
Holy shit, the whole town's on fire. Like, I can't even believe it survived.
All is burning, everyone's got Nazi AIDS, and they're shooting each
All
other.
of Denver is like the beginning of Terminator.
Yes, no wonder they legalized marijuana at some point.
Yeah,
They're
mellow
like, man, we
everyone
gotta
the fuck out.
Yeah, we gotta mellow this shit
That's
out.
the only thing that solved this problem. It got everyone just got high.
Like, after the whole demon AIDS epidemic, they were like, fuck this,
Well,
man.
how do you think they cured it?
You know, the problem is when your city's a mile up in the air, you know, you're so isolated from everything else. What are they going to do?
And you can't outrun it because you run out of oxygen and the lungs there are so thin.
Exactly. And they go, demon AIDS spreads faster at higher elevations. Oh, man.
This is why that foot chase was so slow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. So they're breathing so
Science.
So now we cut to a sweaty, bloody man, and then with a guy in silhouette talking to him. I write, honestly, I don't know.
You have a lot of that in your notes.
Then another conversation.
I don't. I what?
That's pretty much, I just kept writing what. I've never had so many question marks in my notes in my life. But guys, all I know is this ends with somebody giving an amazing performance. Is some guys dressed up like the Fresh Prince.
That guy is amazing.
Yes. Oh, he's like, oh my God. Yes, I love this guy.
Probably second best or best performance of the movie is this guy just sitting in a chair and he's like, fuck you, motherfucker. And then he just says again, he goes, motherfucker.
And then the camera finally pans to him. He's in like a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah, with like a
gold chain.
With like a cigarette or a joint hanging out of his mouth. I couldn't tell.
The hat,
an unlit cigarette.
Yeah.
It was just dangling.
It's like Wesley Snipes' hat in White Man Can't Jump, you know?
Who gave you the authority or right to dictate to me? You shit and wipe your funky ass like everybody else. So who the fuck are you?
Someone who cares enough to step in when parents won't.
Say, look, motherfucker, my parents care about me. You got that? I got homeboys whose parents don't give a fuck about them, but mine care about me. Is that right?
And then I write, okay, I think I figured this out.
Wait, that was that brought it all together for you?
I was like, this must be one of the demon cop parolees. So he was yelling at the demon, like...
Oh, this is Demon Cop's Man on the Street?
Yeah, so this was the guy yelling at him. He's like, hey, fuck you, parole officer.
I want that movie. I want just Demon Cop and this guy being buddies on the street.
Yes.
Solving crime.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I loved it, though. That guy...
I think that's the big shortcoming of this movie is we spend way too much time dealing with the tragedy of being the demon cop and not enough time demon copping.
Yeah,
Well, this whole movie is clearly supposed to be a drama about him getting some sort of AIDS and like dealing with it.
And they're using the monster movie idea to try and get that across in a more palatable way than just being like, I'm a cop who has AIDS.
Yeah, because the whole cop thing and parole officer thing is just kind of shoehorned in there to be like,
it's an action movie.
Some sort of gangs.
They need to make this like a Loose Screws with Demon Cop and the other guy. Like, can you imagine like the tagline is Demon Cop in a Feel?
Demon Cop.
There's two directions you got to go with this. You're either going to go Loose Screws or Bronson with it. Demon Cop and the fuck you motherfucker guy.
Yeah.
I think we all know.
Gunning people down in the street.
If there was a demon cop and Bronson was on the case, this movie'd be over. No.
How again did you get your demon AIDS?
Oh, I found drugs on him. Boom.
It's okay, Demon Cop. I found a cure. Blam.
So this is
no
what
more
I
paid
broke
for
down.
you, Demon Cop.
Yeah.
This is what I broke down on my notes, and in all capital letters I wrote, this would be easier to understand if everything wasn't just in close-up on people's eyes. Because I can't understand any of this.
That's how we all have conversations. We look at each other's eyes with like 2 inches away between our faces.
I don't mean to pull the curtain back, listeners, but that is how we record this show.
Yeah, actually,
we are
we're
inches
all
away from each other's faces and just darting our eyes back and forth.
It gets very uncomfortable when one of us takes a drink too of the LaCroix.
Oh yeah, I've been bonked in the nose by the tail end of a LaCroix so many times.
And Chris has got the long can today, so it's really bad.
That ain't
he
can.
came to play.
That ain't
The fancy
can.
man's can, I see. So then we cut to cops talking to a guy on the couch. Okay, third best actor in the movie, guys. Also,
We're counting them down.
My favorite scene, because this is so funny. They cut to this guy. He's the most 90s looking dude of all time. So he's got like a jean jacket on and like a full on mullet, dude.
Hell
This guy's ready. He's a weekend warrior, man. He's got those big ass 1990s glasses that like you could probably rock today and people would think like you're a hipster.
Well, the 90s are back in a big
going
way. You do any of
Coachella.
that stuff.
Yeah, you'd be a Coachella dude dressing like this today, I
Urban
guess.
Outfitters, $3-4.
Yeah. Urban Outfitters, these glasses would cost you like $400.
Yeah.
Next to the Kent State sweater.
Yeah. And the Stussy shirt and all that. So this guy, most 90s dude ever, but I love this. He goes, oh, there was this guy named Edward, and he was a parole officer, and he was injured in a drive-by. We used to be buddies from Vietnam. And we just start getting this fucking Vietnam backstory.
Yeah. I was like, okay, is like Agent Orange going to play like a role in this? Because I thought that was where they were going. Like
maybe
he got hit with an Agent Orange and it affected
in
him.
Vietnam, he found the thing that turned him into the demon cop.
Yeah. No. Because this is the best part. He goes, so we both moved to Denver, and then we lost touch over the years. And they go, oh, yeah? You haven't seen him lately? He goes, no. Oh, fuck, I saw him 6 days ago.
I love that so much.
In this flashback, which is like, how would you ever forget this? And we also find out that this guy's a cop. And the things that happen, he doesn't report to the police?
Nope.
Because this is a flashback, okay? He flashes back to, he goes, oh, yeah, fuck, I saw him 6 days ago. Cut to, Edward's in his house, so Rocco's in his house, and he's like, kind of becoming the demon?
Yeah, he's doing that whole, like, the beginning of Thriller. Get
away!
Yeah, and he's holding his stomach.
And he's like, I need a drink, I think he says, I need water. And the guy goes,
is a drink of water.
Guy goes, just don't worry. Yeah, he's doing his best Macho Man, basically.
Demon Cop just talks like Macho Man.
He does kind of, actually. He's like, give me some water, oh yeah! And he goes,
maybe a cup of coffee is all I need. Yeah.
His friend goes, or he says, yeah, maybe a Slim Jim. Do you think, this is my favorite part, though, is the cop goes to him, he goes, all right, man, I'll get you a beer. He didn't ask for a beer. So he just...
What am I asking? This guy's a Pepto-Bismol.
He reaches over to the table where there already is a cup of water, and he drinks water. Cut to them sitting at a bar. So we cut to a bar, and we just get the back of them. Like they're almost setting up a shot, but they didn't film the shot.
And they're at a bar called Excalibur's 2. I don't know if you noticed that.
Which is like, are they promoting this?
It's just a real bar in Denver, I'm sure.
They weren't allowed to get close-ups. The bartender's like, fuck you, we're not closing down so you can get close-ups. He goes, you just sit behind there and film from behind the guys. And don't show anybody else in the movie. But I
can
get
we
my
bring our
cameo.
cameraman behind the bar?
No. So all we get is behind them. Like, we just see these guys' backs, right? And they just go on for about 5 minutes of voiceover and everything. And at the end of it, the guy says to himself, which we don't know is to himself because we still think they're talking to each other. He goes, I think Edward has something to do with those gang killings.
Something gang.
Is how the end of the scene ends. And then we go to the flashback. And I was like, okay, cop, you have a lead for the gang killings. Why didn't you report any of this? You're like, oh man, this guy's life must be so interesting. And that the 6 days since this happened, he's like, fuck man, I can't remember last week.
He's basically the Christopher George of this movie.
Yeah, he's just
like in pieces, or he's not really going to find any leads or clues. He's just going to sit around and wait for other people to solve it.
Yeah, I think this guy's on the narcotics unit, and let's just say they haven't put much into evidence lately. It's just been, it's dry out there, Chief. I don't know. All I'm finding is residue. And so we go back to the flashback. Like, we go back from this, right, to just the cops. And at this point, you didn't know that this was even really a flashback?
Oh, at this point, our flashbacks have flashbacks.
Yes, because there's a flashback within a flashback.
Yeah.
And then the cops are like, so that's all you got, huh? You forgot about that story until right now where we jogged it loose? And he's like, yep. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, Eddie, when I went to the bathroom, Rocco left. And they go, hey, do you know about this person named Kelly? And he goes, I've never heard that name. And I go, neither have I. Cut to, oh my God. This is when it starts.
Now it starts.
So apparently they couldn't really give Kelly many lines on screen.
Right.
So this actress has to just do a series of sitting and waiting for somebody off camera to read the lines that are supposed to be happening,
so
and then she overreacts to them.
Yeah.
So what we cut to is her laying on a bed, listening to an answer machine, and you just hear about 5 minutes of Rocco going like, Kelly, I'm sorry.
It's the demon cop trying to smooth things over with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he goes, look, I'm sorry I almost killed you the other night, but you gotta believe.
Baby, come back. Any demon cop could see there was something. Please answer the phone.
Can you, Kelly? 5 more minutes. Pick up. Okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go to dinner. Do you want anything from Taco Bell? Kelly. It's Taco Tuesday. Yeah. A burrito? Call me.
Did I mention I was sorry?
Look, I'm just gonna get you something, okay?
Apology tacos.
I'll stop by. If you don't answer, I'm just gonna leave it on the doorstep.
I understand if it's still too raw.
Have you heard about the gangs? And AIDS. There's a lot of gangs and AIDS. All right, I'll talk to you later.
You started sounding like Bernie Sanders almost there for a second.
That's what he does by the end of it. Look, my voice is getting a little hoarse.
I need a glass of water, but all they got is beer.
If only they had health care for everyone. Don't delete your emails yet. Here we go. I write amazing, Rocco. Gave it your all, dude. That was the Oscar one.
Star of this movie, man.
And nomination for Best Actor, Rocco from Demon Cop. Kelly.
When I inevitably track down Rocco, I need him to do a bumper for our show in the Demon Cop voice.
Oh, and it should last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Just to over-explain our show in the Demon Cop voice. You're listening to the Grindbin, which is a podcast about exploitation films.
No, you've done it too easy. You're listening to the Grindbin. There are movies that were made. 1970. Carter was in the White House at some point, and movies were made. At the same time,
So they watched them.
There was these theaters. Driving to theaters, people would sit. Radios turn on. Audio comes through. 80, Reagan in White House.
Should I be playing
Movies.
the bongos while you do this? We just start snapping.
I mean, this whole movie, it goes from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck is
That was
going
a great
on.
campaign speech, by the way.
You got my vote.
Guys, guess what we get after? Oh, by the way, how does she end this scene? She just puts her head down.
Yeah.
So do we.
Yep.
And you could see...
We all did the same thing in unison.
You could see Rocco off screen going, and cut.
I think we got it.
Everybody just hold. Stop it, Gaffer. They just let the room cool off a little bit, and then he stands up, just gives her a little standing O, and he goes, lovely. Yeah. Wonderful, Kelly. Wonderful. Cut to police station. I write just some voiceover outside a police station. They said a young woman has info on a possible subject in the gang killings. Fuck that. Cut to a lady writing. She's just writing in a notebook. Now, I wrote she either just got out of the shower or she's doing shirt chic, which is from our How to Be Cool at Parties video. Because all we see is the back of a lady's head wrapped in a towel, or it's Rocco because they couldn't get the lady that day.
Probably Rocco.
So he's just pretending to be a lady. And I write, I guess this is Kelly?
Sure.
Guess what it's not?
Oh.
It's the other lady we're going to introduce 10 minutes from now when we actually see her face. And I figured that out at the end of the movie. I go, oh, fuck. I was writing down the wrong character for half the movie. Fucking cares. We can't see her. Something about how she used to be a former gang member, and that's how she met him or something.
To which I say, which gang?
Yeah, what? No. Cut to this lady who I thought was Kelly, but it's not Kelly. It's a different lady who we're going to... Don't worry, audience. We know you haven't seen her face, okay? We know the only lady's face you've seen was about a minute ago, okay? Yeah. And that's the only lady we've introduced. You're going to see the back of this lady's head, okay, for about 5 minutes. Then we'll show the front of her 10 more minutes from now. Okay?
That's what it's all going to come together.
It's all going to come together. It's all going to come together.
The magic guy, you're going to see the sailboat.
But we don't want to give the big reveal away that there's another lady involved, okay? That's also blonde.
That's right.
That looks very similar to the other actress, except she's always sitting, okay?
That's how you know.
So in this, we're like her and Rocco are having a picnic while more story is going on in VO, something about him getting shot in a drive-by again and again and again. Then I write more writing because you just cut to another shot of her writing in a paper. And by the way, it's not like a full shot of a lady writing on a paper. It's just her hand writing on notebook paper for minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my notes. Ready? More writing. More writing. Something about curing AIDS. Something about AIDS blood.
Yes.
I don't know. More writing.
The Demon Cop Diaries, everybody.
I write, this is like the pie scene in Ghost Story. Have you ever seen that movie? There's about a 10-minute scene where a lady just eats a pie. Doesn't say a word.
Wow.
Just sits on the floor of a kitchen and eats a pie for 10 minutes. She eats the whole pie and then she barfs. In one shot.
Man, this movie isn't at all what I thought it was.
Oh, Ghost Story?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10-minute pie eating. Just like Demon Cop. That's where they got the inspiration. They're like, I've seen this wonderful movie, Demon Cop. We do the same thing in this one. You eat whole pie. I'm going to throw up. Great. We'll film it.
Throw up for your art.
This would have been great if the whole writing scene ended with her just vomiting all over the paper. Fuck, I gotta write again.
Anytime they've written themselves into a quarter by not writing anything happening in this movie, they just have a character vomit.
That's the side effect of the demon AIDS.
Yeah. What if she did a typo? She crumples up the paper and just starts writing all over again. All right, let me start it again. Again, from the top.
Damn it.
Then we go to cops in the car. So somebody is clearly just sitting in the back seat of the car holding a camera and just switching between these guys, the back of their heads. We don't see the front of their faces. We don't even know if these are the two cops from the movie or just Rocco and Hal sitting in the front seat as Hal's kid.
This could be the dudes at Sonic Burger. We don't know what's going on.
No, absolutely not. And so someone sitting in the back seat.
I don't know if most of our listeners are going to know what that meant.
Oh, the fucking Sonic guys. Oh, I got problems.
Hard opinions about the Sonic guys?
Oh, I can't stand those commercials.
Oh.
I don't know if it's regional or not, but it wasn't funny the first time. It wasn't funny the 50th time. So just
anyone who doesn't live in the area, if it is regional, YouTube. See what's gotten Mike's ire.
I change the channel every time. All right, I don't know. New people are talking. They're showing me the lady DJ, but nothing makes sense. We cut to a shot of the radio lady talking, but then other people are talking over her, but one of the voices kind of cues up with her mouth, so it sounds like she's doing a hey, hey, hey.
It accidentally did it. It was great.
I thought she was doing I thought she was doing a Fat Albert on the radio. I was like, whoa, she's got talent, man. And so then we go back to the police station. Chief and cop are talking. Who are they talking about? Some lady. Kelly or another lady? The radio lady? Something about dead gangs. And then the chief, this is the best part, is he looks at the guy and goes, look, I've been having this recurring dream a lot, right? Yeah. Where I catch a gang member and then I shove a spear up his ass and through his mouth. The point comes out his mouth.
So he's having a cannibal Holocaust fantasy.
Yeah.
About just being Vlad the Impaler to
and
gang
he's
members.
Telling this to another cop. He's like, I wish I could take a spear and shove it up the ass of gang members. And the cop's like, I get it, Chief, but what does this have to do with the case? You know, and he's
I was just asking where the bathroom was.
It's like, fuck if I know. He just told me to make some shit up as he rolled the camera that we're illegally filming in this police station parking lot. And I'm starting to get nervous. I was on an episode of TV, Rocco. Please.
Have you seen it?
Have you seen that episode of General Hospital when I walked through the background? They said it's one of the best extra works they've ever seen.
You know what they didn't say? Just make shit up. Because they were professionals, Rocco.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Every time I perform down at the Aurora Theater, they never tell me to make up Mr. Shakespeare's words. Okay, Rocco? Good night, sweet prince. I was Hamlet, or whoever said that line. And so then we go to a hotel. Bloodhound is thinking about the end of the world. That's what I write. So we also
and
nice
so
commercial
are we at this point.
Nice commercial for the DoubleTree though.
Oh, lovely.
Nice establishing shot centering the logo.
Yeah, DoubleTree in Denver, which I'm sure they wanted that Demon Cop money.
I stayed there. I stayed there once. It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good.
Did you turn into a demon cop?
No. Regrettably, no.
Did you also sit in the lobby thinking about the end of the world to yourself?
Every night on that tour, yes.
Okay, third question.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those cookies? Because those are great.
Oh,
those
dude, I always
those
tell
are
them,
top-notch.
can I get some for my 3 kids? And they give me like 4 cookies. It works every fucking time.
And then Chris, within an inch of the desk, goes, I don't have kids. Sucker.
Yeah.
Got you again.
Yeah. They go, haha, we know your room number.
Well, it's not under my name, thankfully, so we're good.
So then the radio lady shows up, right? And she goes, hey, are we going to have a scene together? And they go, yeah, but we got to walk to it first. We watch the best shot in the whole movie. These people stand up and they walk all the way around the DoubleTree lobby, okay? And here's the thing. DoubleTree lobby's got a lot of plants.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Can we see anything beyond those plants? Fuck no, we can't. But the camera just keeps panning and kind of zooming in as they just disappear behind various plants. Mm-hmm. And there's just voiceover going that doesn't make any sense. Then all of a sudden they sit down at a table. They're being served drinks. They're eating dinner together. And then they're talking about drugs. Like some sort of drug or a Nazi drug. And I was like, some sort of like crocodile situation or something like that. Then we just watch them eat lunch while they have a VO exposition fest about gangs and crocodile and
whatever
demons.
came to mind.
And then we finally cut to a close-up of the radio lady, and it's just more rambling. And he says America's a shithole. Denver's a war zone. The radio lady thinks he's crazy, and he goes, well, you think I'm crazy? Well, I killed a man. And she's like, yeah, that's why I think you're crazy. He
That's
goes,
a pretty crazy thing to do.
Then this guy breaks the full like fucking Art Bell coast to coast type thing as he goes, look, this goes all the way to the top, okay? I came to Denver, the war zone of Denver, in the shithole country of America because I'm from Interpol. And I was chasing down this man, and he used to be a Nazi, and he ran to Argentina, and then he ran to Denver because he thought it was a mile-high city in the air, and he could somehow get away. But I tracked him down, and I murdered him in cold blood. But the problem is that something with his blood got mixed with another guy, and he had the zombie Nazi AIDS, and now there's a demon running around the streets. And I've been calling you on your radio station, and you don't listen to me when I'm trying to explain to you this, that I'm telling you that I killed a Nazi.
And she's like, let's go west of the Rockies. Let's talk to David.
Yeah, this is what Art Bell just hangs up.
Clicking it out.
Yeah, sick of that. Let's not do the wild card line anymore.
Yeah, he goes, open lines night is rough. The end of the scene is he says, the possibility that someone else could be contaminated is as serious as a snake bite on the ass.
It's pretty serious, you guys.
I was like, nah, not really. I saw City Slickers too. You just suck it out.
Yeah.
My understanding from watching The Human Tornado is if that happens, well, then you're a dead motherfucker.
So we go to Cops in a House. All right.
Better title.
Guys, the rest of this movie is going to go really fast.
Thank God.
Do you know how far we are into this movie at this point? I looked at the time.
You clocked it?
Yeah.
What are we at?
Do you know how long this movie has
How
been
long
going
has
on and
this
how
been
long
happening?
we've been talking about this? 30 minutes.
I could have guessed. I could have guessed. Could have guessed.
30 minutes.
That's unfortunate.
So we just, how the fuck am I going to finish this movie? Cops
What's it
walk
gonna
around
take?
for minutes in a house, a fog machine, shaky shot. All of a sudden it's like become Denver news or something.
Yeah.
Then the demon, oh my God, he's decapitated a cop and threw his head down the stairs.
It's not really in focus.
No.
Not at all.
And then people are just walking away. What is happening?
If this is supposed to be like live news, the guy is not panicking enough.
No.
Seeing a man get his head torn off his body.
And thrown at the camera. Then the scene ends with the head on the camera.
It appears the suspect has decapitated the officer.
And that's how he's reading it. We'll play the audio.
Yeah, you should.
And here he is, a demon cop. And then, oh my God, the head's off.
Oh no.
Lucas, are you there? We're experiencing more communication breakup.
We've got gunshots. There's a police officer has the suspect cornered. We're trying to get around to get a better view. It appears now from this angle that there's some kind of struggle going on between an officer and the suspect. Wait! Oh my God. It appears the suspect just decapitated the officer.
So then we go to the corner, and I write, new characters, great. That's what we needed.
Spice it up a little.
So you remember that, how I said we were going to get introduced to that lady because we've only seen the back of her head? Well, here's the front of her. Her name is Mary, or Maria, and she's new. And she says, okay, so apparently we learned that the cops have hired her as a psychic.
Yeah.
Because the cops love hiring psychics, I guess, in Denver, She says she knows what's going on in the movie. And then she goes on and on and on about somebody named Bloodhound, and I write, she didn't know shit.
And she flubs so much of this.
Oh, yeah, we got to play some of the
She's one of the
mess-ups.
worst offenders, I think, of the bad line.
So what are you saying, man?
I was raised in a Christian environment, and it gave me insight to what a lot of people find too hard to believe. The only possible answer left to this humongous question.
Something of unknown origin?
Something of pre-known origin.
So then she says she knows how to solve the case because she grew up as a Christian.
Simple as that.
And then somebody says, like, is it of unknown origin? And she goes, pre-know origin or something. I was like, what? What the fuck does that mean? And then I was like, I'm not looking it up. Go to
It's your act of rebellion at this point.
I was
You know
like,
what movie? Fuck you.
No, I'm not looking it up. Go to Cops in the Car. They play a tape that will apparently tell us the movie. So they go, hey, that lady gave us a tape. Let's listen to it in the car. And then you just hear a voiceover, and I write, it makes less sense now.
Yeah, and it's
Less
like
sense.
crystal clear. What was you recording on? Did you go to like an actual recording studio to record this thing? It's like crystal clear.
It's the best audio of the whole movie.
She's up in the booth doing this. She's got the cans on. She's doing the whole thing.
Yeah, she's like, chapter 1.
They're listening to an audiobook.
Yeah, she's doing audible, but yeah, it's no.
She goes, to understand the demon cop, we must go back to the beginning. Germany, 1850. And it's just like this full story of who knows what. And then all of a sudden we cut back to the police station, and now Mary's like talking with the cops, and she says, all right, also, this is not the police station. This is clearly Rocco's living or dining room.
Yeah.
There's a dining room table. And she goes, I found something. And they're like, we found something too. We found Bloodhound's items. A duffel bag of this man named Bloodhound. And he worked for Interpol. And I write, what happened to Bloodhound? Did he die or something? Did he die off screen?
I wouldn't doubt it.
What happened to one of our main characters that only spoke in... I never saw his mouth move.
He had to go.
I was like, was he the one who got his head ripped off?
You're going to make me rewatch this now, Mike?
No, I don't know. And then I write, okay, now we're at the DoubleTree again. Oh, there's Bloodhound. He's leaving a message on his tape recorder. He's recording his suicide note. And he says something about a demon. And he's like, I'm going to tell the cops how to kill the demon. I'm going to leave you a duffel bag. You see that gun in there? It has these special bullets that you'll need to kill the demon. And if you shoot him with those bullets, you can remove the demon from the man.
You mean silver bullets?
Yeah.
Well, they look like...
Not strictly. We're not going to call it that.
No. It's more like meat bullets or something, because it just looks like, I don't know, like somebody rolled salami up.
Meat Bullets sounds like a band that the crew of this went and saw at the end of the film.
Like it's either somebody's lunch.
A local Denver grunge band in 1990.
Yeah.
And so he's like, if you shoot the demon with these bullets, then it will remove the demon from the man, and the man will survive. But you know what the cops say to that? Fuck that shit. We're not going to listen to this fucking crazy guy who is calling up.
I heard your ass on Coast to Coast. I'm not trusting you.
They stopped it when he said Nazi AIDS. They're like, okay, Mary.
Just move along, pal. Move along.
And
Take your duffel bag of meat with you.
So I think this is the last time we see Bloodhound. Is he just says something about how he's got to go back to his shoe wife. And like, that's it. Goodbye. Or, you know, they could only get him for 1 day out of 5. And they're like, Charles, you told us you could act tomorrow. And he's like, no, I gotta go back to the Mervyns. You know, I gotta go back to my.
Oh, that's what happened. He got a phone call and somebody called in sick. He had to cover a shift.
Yeah, I gotta go back to my security job guard as a security guard at Ross.
Which,
tomorrow.
by the way, is more of a cop than the demon cop.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna need the clothes back. You know, fuck, they're serious about that shit. So we go back to Mary, and she's talking about nothing. It makes sense. She starts talking about dog's blood.
Sure.
And I need like a fucking like conspiracy theory chart to figure this movie out. Like, you're going to see me by the end of this show with like, you know, one of those boards where you text stuff
the
into
yarn
it, and I'm
doing
yarn and everything.
All we know is that
Nazis
the demon cop somehow applies to chemtrails and the flat Earth.
You know, this goes all the way to the fucking top, guys. I mean, we're talking reptilians.
Oh man,
this
Illuminati,
is past deep state. This is like deeper state.
This is like this is
demon state.
Demon state. Oh my god!
Double lock the doors.
She thinks the demon is living in a garage. Great. All right, 40 minutes.
It's actually a public storage, if we want it to be that way. Let's just have him in the public storage.
Guys, I love this. Cops driving again. One of my favorite lines in the movie. Ready? Here's one of the cops. Damn, I could be stretched out on a Hawaiian beach by now, digging on some babe's fine ass.
Every line out of this guy's mouth is gold.
Damn, I could be stretched out on a Hawaiian beach by now, digging on some babe's fine ass, instead of hanging around here dealing with his weird shit.
Wishful thinking, pal.
So then they go into a garage, I guess, because all we see is a black screen and people talking over. They go, it's really dark in here. Yeah, it smells terrible too. Did I mention it's dark? He goes, well, why don't you turn on the light? Is the light switch over here? No, it's not here. Is it over there? No.
What do you kids at home think? It's over there.
Finally, we just turn on a light. We still only see their shins as they walk to the side, and there's like a jelly smear of a hand on a wall, and they're like, must be like where the demon lives or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like the Hardy Boys. It's just like, a clue. Cut to Mary on the phone. She's talking to a lady, I don't know who, and something about finding a cure. Then now, oh my God, Bloodhound's back. Never mind, he's back. More manifesto on the tape.
I feel like he just walks in when he wants to. Like, he's not even supposed to be part of the next scene.
This is when he starts saying that he's a Nazi hunter and he killed a Nazi. And I guess the Nazis made the demon blood.
He's unraveling worse than Dr. Loomis in the Halloween movies. Now he's just like, I killed a Nazi once and took his blood.
Yeah, it's like I'm saying, it goes to the top, man.
Yeah.
Illuminati. Like, everything is coming together. He's like, you know, got to look at the back of a $1 bill. Why is there a fucking pyramid on the back of it? You know what I mean? Like, none of it ever makes sense until you see about the Nazis and the demon blood, and it goes all the way back. George Washington, he cut down that tree, and there was blood in the tree.
Did you know that if you fold up a $1 bill, you can make it say Tits USA? That can't be a coincidence.
Dissolved cops listening to the tape, and it's almost like they just give up. They're like, I don't know, something about a homeless man selling demon blood is the next. I'm serious, that's what the next thing is about. And they're like, yeah. I felt like the cops should just been like, you know, we should just give up. Like, let's just call the FBI. You know,
this is above our pay grade.
Yeah, fuck this. It's like, I'm supposed to go to Hawaii, man. Digging on some babe's fine ass.
We need more of that.
And I'm here fucking dealing with this Nazi hunter and demon cop. Like, you know what? I quit.
Yeah, we're low on resources here. It just can't be done.
I'm buying a metal detector and I'm moving to the beach.
So a house. Kelly is awoken by a phone call. She answers it.
Baby,
and
come back.
Amazingly,
Look, I'm sorry.
She has an 8x10 of her own headshot on the bedside table.
I couldn't understand
framed.
that. Yeah.
That's another thing that has happened an amazing amount of times in this show's history. Watching movies where somebody has like their headshot in the frame.
Yeah. It's clearly her actress headshot.
Yeah.
And then somebody goes, hey, it's the hospital. Or wait, maybe we're the cops. We don't remember. Anyways, there's a cure. There's a cure for the demon blood. And they're like, we need you to get the demon guy and have him come down to the cop hospital. And she's like, okay. Then she hangs up, and oh my God, Edward's there. Rocco is standing at the doorway.
Oh my God.
And we're definitely going to play the lines when he goes, who was on the phone? And she's like, it was the hospital. They want to cure you. Who was on the phone? Edward, I just told you they want to cure you. A cure? I'm sorry.
Everyone's hard of hearing in this movie.
Did they take your hearing too? do you hear what I'm fucking saying out of my mouth?
Other characters do that earlier too. They're like, I think it was a gang. A what?
It's like Nazis.
Who was on the phone? I said, who was on the phone?
It was the hospital, Edward. You remember my friend Cheryl, the blood analyst? The one who told us about the research program at the clinic?
What about the call?
So basically they argue for 4 minutes about who was on the phone and why she answered the phone and why she gave the phone number out. And then all of a sudden she's like, there's a cure. And hopeful music swells on the Casio. They found a cure, Edward proclaims for the 8th time. I just wrote, they found it, Eddie. You got it, man. You got it, dude. You're good. Then she leaves. Edward falls on the bed. Later, Edward wakes up. We see his asshole.
Yep.
Pull out your punch card, Grindbin listeners. I think we get one free at this point.
Yeah, and Grindbin bingo, the middle of the bingo board is just the asshole. Because it's going to be in every movie.
We're doing blackout this round.
So,
more like a brownout.
Part. At the end of the scene, he just collapsed out of the bed, fully closed. Now he's naked. And it was Rocco just like, I got to show my ass in this movie.
We start on an establishing shot of my asshole.
Yeah.
Slowly zoom out.
Yeah, Hal, make sure you get in it. Because I'm definitely going to point it towards the camera. And you gotta give it for the ladies. Also, if you get kind of the bottom of my nutsack, I would really like that. Because, man, the quality of this movie is bad, but I've still seen too much. It's too clear for me.
The quality of this movie is bad. The quality of my taint ain't. That is a quality taint.
He's like, this is going to sell it. You know, you got to have nudity in your movies, and we couldn't get any ladies to get naked. So
the 2 women in this movie both said no. Yeah. I guess it's up to me and my balls.
It's going to be me. Also, I was thinking maybe I would pretend to be a lady naked on camera. And maybe we could do that. And Hal's like, no.
No. I don't think that's a good idea.
So he shows his asshole to us. It's wonderful. He puts on pants. We see him bend over right to camera. Thank you very much, Edward. Thank you, Rocco.
That's a wrap for the day.
But I love this is he just over and over this whole scene is him just going, a cure, a cure, a cure. And then he falls down the stairs. Like, so he tumbles down the stairs and he just keeps going, a cure, as he gets outside.
We've talked about this before, but you remember when like the Star Wars Episode 3 came out and we're like, oh shit, General Grievous is going to whoop so much ass. And we get there and he's like ill and just wheezing.
Yeah.
It's like the cover for this. Yeah, the cover of this is like demon cop. You're like, fuck yeah. And he's got food poisoning the whole movie.
It's fucking.
He's just putting his ass up in the air, laying on a bed nude, going,
a cure.
This is not the movie I was coming for.
Yeah. There's Fred Olen Ray at this point. He's like, when does the cop show up? Like, when does he start? Did I make this movie? Fuck. So then something's happening in stock footage. people are working in a lab.
Yeah, it was 1942.
It is. It's like we cut the stock footage of people in a lab, and then from what I can see, they put a drop of water on a plastic hand, and then they just shake their heads no at each other.
Wait, no, this is a plastic.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, this isn't a demon. Wait, we're not curing AIDS here.
And I like that kind of scientific method approach. Just like they drop water on a plastic mannequin hand, and they go, no, that didn't do anything.
Nope. Guess the cure didn't work.
All right, what else can we try to cure AIDS?
So then the demon is now driving, which I like. I'm like, all right, finally we get demon in the car, demon behind the wheel.
Some demon cop action.
Oh man,
this is RoboCop cruising around Detroit.
If we only had like some road rage scenes, you know what I mean? Like somebody cuts him off and he goes. So he's trying to drive to the hospital, but instead he just runs into bushes, and then he starts walking and he falls. I write, whoa, this movie changes
into Streets of Rage.
All of a sudden, we get criminals with some sweet-ass music.
You gotta play this music.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like we should open the show with this music.
Oh, we're going to. Either that or the end song.
No, we're ending on the end song. We gotta open strong.
So the criminals, sweet-ass music. Man, if only you could make the theme song this good.
Dude, you know? I thought the Double Dragon guys were gonna fall out of the sky and just start fighting them.
I wrote, wow, 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 wow. I was getting very loopy at this point, writing notes.
Did you think you maybe had fallen asleep?
No, I started doing like Demon Cop fan fiction. I was writing alternate scees in my head.
Yeah, he woke up and his dick was in his hand and his pen was in the other.
Yeah.
That's
and
just
I was
how it
staring at Edward's asshole.
And you were muttering to yourself, a cure.
A cure. And so then I write, these criminals are up to no good.
they look like some bad apples.
Like, so one guy has a chain around his neck. No,
it's not like a gold chain. He's dressed like the junkyard dog. he's got
like a bike chain around his neck.
He's a ruffian. He's a tough guy.
And another lady has like a slightly ripped shirt. Mm-hmm. Another lady apparently has a weapon up her ass because she's not holding it,
Sure.
But it'll appear. So then the demon comes out of a bush. I guess he's ready to fight crime. Oh wait, no, he just walks into a building.
The worst fake out in this movie.
So then a little hard than soft, guys. So like we get you excited, like some action's gonna happen. No, fuck.
He just walks by.
So then all of a sudden we get Demon Filer. As he just stumbles in POV.
It's Demon Desk Cop?
Yeah, Demon Desk Cop. As he just goes around.
I can find those for you.
He's just, like it's a VO of somebody with a handicap just shaking around. And then we see the demon at a file cabinet. And he's like, I gotta find my file. My file. And then he just looks around for his file, apparently. Cut to outside. These criminals up to no good. And I write, did they rob a mailman?
It was the guy walking with the briefcase.
Oh, okay. I thought a mailman got robbed. And I was
Nobody
like,
would do that.
Because they were like, what do you got in the bag? And I was like, the mailman would be like, mail? Like bills? Junk mail? Notices?
You want a penny saver?
It's like, I don't know. It's like, this is not something fun. Like a lot of auto traders.
Yeah, it's 1990. It's not like we got like an Amazon contract for that guy yet.
Yeah, you want the new Time Life catalog?
I guess
50 of them. Okay, it's a man with a briefcase because I was like, who'd rob a mailman?
Nah, it was just a guy carrying I don't even think it was a briefcase. It was like a duffel bag. It was whatever they had at the time. And the dialogue here is pretty intricate.
Hey, sugar, what you got in the bag? What do you got in the bag? What do you got in the bag?
Hey, what you got in the bag?
We're going to play it because it's amazing.
Hey, sugar, what you got in the bag? Hey, babe, what's in that bag? Hey, sugar, what you got in that bag? Come on, babe, show me. What you got in that bag? Come on, man. Got you now. Come on, babe.
Cut to, the demon has found his file, and then we watch him read it for a few minutes, and he goes, there's no cure, liars! All right, okay, guess that's solved. Also, there's nobody in this lab or office. No. It's just the demon. I guess they all went home for the day.
It's
in the middle
clearly
of the
like
day.
a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
that's why it's not a mailman outside.
He slept for days.
When
she was like, there's a cure, Edward. And then he just wakes up 5 days later. He's like, a cure.
The excitement knocked him out. It was just too much.
So then demon comes outside, and now he fights criminals because he just goes,
You motherfuckers are the cause of my suffering.
Well, right. This is what the movie should have been.
Yeah.
Demon crime fighter right here. You had it, Rocco.
This is his superhero catchphrase right here. This is his spoon.
You motherfuckers are the cause of my suffering, and I just write, huh?
And I'm getting excited when he calls that out. You're like, so from here to the finish line, we're wrecking fools.
Yes, like, okay, fine, and we're getting some demon cop.
Like, you know what? We put in our shift. We would like our treat now.
So this this is the best scene in the movie. We all agree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The criminals beat him up. Gotta love that bat hit. So there's a white guy with a bat, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's clearly trying not to hurt Rocco because he's just like doing the wrestling hardcore match hit where he just
nice and easy.
Like somebody's gonna bring out a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
It's not much if you cover your hand over the
And
part
then
of the
boop him with the
sledgehammer
back of your hand.
and then just hit it with the back of your hand. Seems
But
like
he's no selling it.
Seems like you'd hurt your own hand.
Right.
So the criminals beat him up, and then whoa is what I write. He tosses this white dude into a wall so hard, the white dude spits out blood before he even hits the wall.
You've never vomited blood out of fear.
So what you see is this white guy go towards the wall, and they're like, all right, you're going to have the blood in your mouth, and when you hit the wall, spit it.
He's like, got it, spit.
And then he hits the wall. It does not work. And then I write, oh my God, the lady criminal has a fucking machine gun.
Out of nowhere.
She just opens fire and just starts going. Nobody gets hit, even though she's point blank.
Yeah. Right there.
No, doesn't she shoot her partner?
Oh, yeah, maybe she does.
She accidentally shoots it. Like the junkyard dog takes a bullet.
And then Demon Cop comes over to her. He bends the gun.
It's an homage to RoboCop 3 years earlier. The same shot where he grabs the front of the Uzi and he bends it down.
Love it.
While the guy's going, fuck me, in the convenience store.
But instead he says, he grabs her face and he says, I can name that tune in one note. And I go, what?
Yeah, no
Great
music,
line.
I can name that tune in one note.
I was like, of all the one-liners in the world, why? I can name that tune in one note. Does anybody know what this means? Or
I've never heard that ever.
Well, I mean, name that tune.
Yeah, but what is the?
But in terms of like a one-liner,
I don't know how he's using it, but that's I know where the term or where the phrase comes from.
Like, has the AIDS rotted his brain so much that he's now just?
He was asleep for 5 hours. He's still shaking it out. You know, he's thinking of the game shows he was watching
I'm
earlier.
just saying, is he playing like Wheel of Fortune?
He should have walked up to her and grabbed her by the face and went like, no whammies, no whammies.
He goes, I'll take a foul as he bends the gun. And she's just like, what?
Paul Lynde in the center square.
Daily double, Alec. I'll wager it all.
Yeah.
And then I write, just shots of a neighborhood. That's it. Cut to shaky ass footage. Demon driving again. All right, I love when the demon's behind the wheel. Parks in driveway. Runs to side yard of house. Demon in backyard now. Knocks over a lawn chair. Goes in back door.
Action.
Cut. Kelly comes home. Someone's typing on a typewriter. Demon typing. He's okay. So she goes, Edward, they're looking for you. And then he just stands up and hands her a piece of paper. And then she just reads what he wrote in his voice as he just stands there looking at her. And I'm like, why didn't he just tell her this?
Yeah.
Because that would take not enough time.
So for 5 minutes, we watch as she reads.
Yep. Reads a book report.
Reads a book report of basically what happened in the whole movie. And then he starts saying like how he was dipping that demon dick at other places. And you're like, what?
Yeah, now we're getting, baby, we were on a break.
Yeah, he's like, there were other women.
You knew what this was.
Like, why is this a subplot?
First date gone too long. There was another woman. She likes to sit, and we met, and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
He just starts going off about the redistribution of sex for monsters.
I write, at some point I think like this is some sort of something about being a vegan. Like, I don't know what's going on. But he dipped the demon dick other places, something about eating vegan, how it's hard to be a monster, but you can still get some.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
Yeah. You know, in 10 to Midnight, as we did recently, we had a guy who's a good-looking guy who can't get a girl. This demon cop, he's just dripping in it, man. Like,
he's a bad-looking guy who can't beat him away.
I know. That's his attitude. I could teach an entire film semester, like entire semester of film school, and still not explain this movie. Like,
this is the final.
Every
for film
day,
school.
yeah, every day
Can
we'd
you
go,
explain this?
How many classes you have in a semester? We'd go 10 minutes at a time, and then we'd try and discuss and break down Demon Cop for an entire semester, and maybe we'd figure it out. It would go all the way to the top. And then we'd have Fred Olen Ray in the last day, and he can explain to us his genius.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
How may I enroll in this class?
So while we're talking, that scene just keeps going on and on and on and on. I go, I don't know. He wanders off to the bedroom, falls on the bed. We cut Denver Zoo. Now all of a sudden, I love this. The cop comes into the zoo. He talks to the zoo man. He goes, hey, Richard, I got another job for you. And the zoo guy goes, oh, yeah? What animal got loose this time? Wouldn't that be your job, zoo guy? Like, wouldn't you know?
Hey, you tell me.
What, did Tiger kill another kid or some shit? Fuck.
I was on the can. I don't know what happened.
And I write, so apparently the cops are now recruiting zoo people to help take down this guy, but they don't. The cops have never seen the demon cop. The demon.
Right.
So, I don't know. Cut to, wow, effects is what I write. Just some effects shot. Then more VO, people talking about going to Vegas is what I write.
Why not?
Then I write, oh, Mary or Marie is here. And I write, she's in a wheelchair. That's why she never stood up.
Yeah. All this time we thought she was just being rude.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a second. She's in a wheelchair. And I started writing, I'm like, was this an actor choice or is this real life? Like, no, because I'm just serious.
No,
I'm
you're
like,
right. You're
because
actually
there's no
right.
reason.
I'm like, okay, it's fine. You cast somebody that's in a wheelchair. No problem.
Yeah.
Like, but
in fact, bold move, 1990.
It's kind of weird that your twist in the movie is that this lady's in a wheelchair. Like, we're supposed to be like, oh,
yeah,
because that's how it's played off. Is everybody in the audience is like, no,
yeah,
but no, she's just in a wheelchair. She meets the demon, and she's like, hey, I know about your affliction. Look at what it did to me. I'm in this chair. And I'm like, so wait, she had demon AIDS, but she didn't become a demon. She just became a paraplegic?
Pretty much.
I'm like, okay. And then she says, I was a gang member. I'm like,
yeah. I was like, I went.
What gang? The Burger King Kids Club?
Yeah.
She was running numbers with the Hamburglar.
Yeah, and she says something like,
the Planeteers weren't a gang.
Yeah. So he's just like, yeah. Then he just walks out of the scene, and then, oh my God, she's wearing a wire, and she just like pulls the wire up to her face. She goes, he's here. Come on in.
Take the shot.
Take the shot. So then she rolls out of the house, and she's like, hey, he went through the back door. And the one cop goes, do we go get him? And he goes, no, Spence, we go out for donuts.
Oh.
Zing!
Damn.
And then I do like this, though. They look at the lady, and the guy goes, what about her? And he goes, she has a taser. What else she need? A fucking rocket launcher?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Could be great. Yep. Can you get one?
Because we're going to find out. Demons are like immune to bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should have used those fucking meat bullets
like
that
the
the German
told
gave you know? No, the cops pursue the demon. They go into a backyard. But I do love the part when you see a cop trying to jump over a fence for about 2 minutes. He cannot get over. I'm pretty sure they were like, no, just keep trying. We'll cut in when you get over. And he's like, I can't go over the fence. And they're like, oh, fuck it. But we're going to leave it in because we got to have something. Like, do you think this was a big belly laugh or something? Because it's just a guy, like a white guy who can't get over a fence.
This was like an outtake from Police Academy, I think.
Yeah, it's like Gutenberg is like, no, I can't get over the fence. And they're like, oh, Steve, you did it again, you genius.
Got him.
He's like, no, I mean, forget it. And Michael Winslow's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. So they shoot the demon a few times. Then we cut to a random lady screaming, which is maybe the best shot in the movie, where she goes, ah! Then we go to demon. I like this. He picks up a patio table, and they're like, just die, demon. And he goes, they go, it's over. He goes, it's not over until the fat lady sings.
I'm like, why?
And then he throws that table about 1 inch.
Yeah, he drops the table. Really.
Yeah. And then they shoot him about 50 more times.
And he's flailing about.
And then he plays dead. He's still alive. And then he runs off. And then the demon's in the front yard. And then Mary, he's like, hey, you lied. You lied. You lied.
There's no cure.
Yeah. And then she pulls out a taser and shoots him with like a future gun.
Oh, it's great.
It's something on a Star Crash.
Yeah. It's like she shoots him with like a lightning bolt that makes his whole body, and it's the best effect in the whole movie.
But did you see the little orange safety nozzle on the front of the barrel that they put on there in the close-up, just to make sure if cops drive by, they know it's not real?
Yeah.
If a real cop shows up.
And so then, well, bullets can't take him out, but the taser does. No, he gets up. Car pulls in the driveway. It's the zoo guy, and he shoots him with a tranquilizer dart, and then he goes, I'm getting the hell out of here, and then the zoo guy just leaves the scene.
Done.
You know, in like Marvel vs. Capcom, they had the helper character that you could just press a certain button, and Thor swoops in and shoots a lightning bolt.
It's just like that in a video game, you know, like the stage clear button.
It's like they built up that the green energy bar. They're like, we got one, let's do it, boom, and then they trank the opponent.
Enter zoo guy. I'm getting the hell out of here. Then I write computer graphics.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden the movie shows like it's in the Matrix or something. Like it breaks down and you hear like computer sounds and you see like Lawrence Fishburne being like, take the pill, your choice. And you're like, whoa, this really does go to the top, man.
You're full on tinfoil hat at this point.
And then I go, cut to later. Cops are mad at Mary. They're like, you fooled us. You're not really a psychic, are you? We're cops. We believe in psychics. And she's like, no, I'm not. I know him. I thought it might be him, the demon man. And that's it. The demon's dying on the ground.
And as the light is dimming in his soul, and he only has mere moments left on this earth, he has time to say one last thing, so he spends that time singing Gino Vanelli's 1973 easy listening hit Crazy Life.
Okay.
Why not?
But then it gets even weirder. Like, this really does become like a David Lynch movie, is that we pan out and we see that what we're watching is like people on a couch watching the movie Demon Cop.
This gets... Have you ever seen the film Anguish from 87?
I have not.
We do that in this movie on a grander scale with a movie theater where we pan out and realize this whole movie we've been watching has been a movie that another character has been watching.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or like grotesque.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like grotesque, basically.
Yeah, like grotesque.
And then we just see that it's like a mom.
In fact, Demon Cop fits pretty close to grotesque. Grotesque is a more competent Demon Cop.
It's like a mom and her kid watching Demon Cop, and she's like, man, this movie always puts them to sleep. You know? And then I write, what in the fuck? We cut to some lady foaming at the mouth.
They explain this. This is basically a teaser for a proposed sequel.
Demon Cop 2.
Oh.
Lady Demon Cop.
Oh.
Because, and she basically has the She-Hulk origin. They talk about how she got a blood transfusion, but she seems to have gotten it from the Demon Cop. And so she turns around with her mouth foaming like she's about to turn into Lady Demon Cop.
And
they hit the TD machine with all the effects they can muster.
Oh my God.
It is like sparking and smoking.
Shot, so fucking funny too, because it's just... Somebody on the editing software pressed the button and it freezes the frame, zooms into her teeth, and then just stretches it out like really weird, like a funhouse mirror. Cut to Cameron Mitchell and he goes, I think we learned something. Maybe not.
I love that
was
part.
The best.
Pull the strings. Pull the strings. Bye. And then we just iris out, basically.
It would be a good time for Fred Olen Ray to pop up at the corner again and just shake his head at us.
He goes, it's on you, asshole. You bought it.
You got through the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's just him holding up $2.
Yep. That's Demon Cop.
There you have it.
I was going to say, now, I don't think you watched the new Twin Peaks, right?
No, I didn't.
Not yet, no.
There is an episode
I've seen
that has...
one episode of Twin Peaks.
So there is an episode in the new season of Twin Peaks that has nothing to do with the narrative of the other episodes. That is just goes into like the origin of the Black Lodge, and it like just goes into various images and all these things.
Great. Why not?
That's like watching Demon Cop. That episode...
In fact, little known fact, Demon Cop is one of the episodes of the new Twin Peaks.
Yes, I mean, because at the end of that episode, I just looked to my wife and I'm like, the fuck was that? Guess we're not going to find out what happened to Dougie this episode.
I'm expecting that to happen at least once during the new season of Westworld.
I just watched the second season, the second episode, I was like, huh.
It's very different, but that's a very different show.
No, I was just like, huh.
That's kind of how my wife and I were like that too.
Where are we going?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah. I was like, I heard this episode was good. Huh. All right. Well, maybe the third. Not going to watch it tonight because I've had enough.
I'm going to turn on Demon Cop.
Yep, and I did. And I watched Demon Cop, and I was like,
bad
I'm
choices.
at home.
Bad choices in the Woodhouse.
So obviously everybody's recommendation is absolutely fucking not
even sex background noise. Not even.
Oh, I don't know though.
No.
Let's try it.
Chris! The Cure! Harder!
I think it's lost for a reason. That happens sometimes. Like, there's a reason this was very hard to find, and it's because the conspiracy goes all the way to the top.
Oh, yeah. So, if you're interested, check out a few minutes here and there, because, you have to see it to believe it. It is literally the worst movie of all time.
Honestly, I was beside myself afterwards about how bad this was.
I mean, I did laugh quite a bit while watching it because it's so hilariously incompetent.
Oh, yeah. This goes up there with Birdemic and The Room and things like that. It's right there with them in terms of being a terrible film.
Yeah. And they think they can make it all slick with the editing and the ADR. They think that's going to save it. But no, it hampers it even more.
I mean, this is definitely a case of, Fred Olen Ray didn't know what he bought. Maybe he just bought it on the pitch. The guy's like, it's about a demon with AIDS. And he goes, all right, got it. Good, great.
What's really amazing at being Fred Olen Ray is that this movie didn't become wall-to-wall boobs.
I can't believe you didn't just cut him in just to have it. No. And I think he realized what he bought was like, fuck, man, I'm screwed on this one. Yeah. UK.
How did Demon Cop not just suddenly decide to take the strip club case?
I feel like he just releases in the UK with that cover, took his Demon Cop picture.
Good enough.
And was like, come and find me, limey.
Held up 2 fingers.
He goes, yeah, fly out to LA. Yeah, fuck you.
Try and find me.
What if Demon Cop's a big thing in the UK? Everybody's like, oh, it's beloved.
Yeah, it goes like Judge Dredd, Demon Cop.
Yeah, it's like a big thing over there. I'd like to see that mashup.
Just he's up there with all the great fictional cops.
You don't understand. You just got to get the graphic novel of Demon Cop. It all makes sense. So, you hear that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
How do you guys think Bobby and DeVito fit in the world of Demon Cop? Man, and I just like to say,
I've never really seen you look so pained right now.
We never, I don't know about you guys, but we don't write these down.
No.
We just do
wing
it. This is off the cuff, as you would say.
And that's why mine are usually bad.
They're all bad, but we just usually make them up on the spot. Nobody writes them down before. So how do we think Bobby and DeVito from the movie 1977's The Van would fit in with the world of 1990s Demon Cop? Chris Mann.
All right, at the end when she's getting the foamy mouth.
Old foamy mouth.
I think Bobby is the origin of the demon AIDS. I think he was a test subject it went to the top, and he volunteered because it was free money, and he already had some BD going, he needed to get it taken care of. So he heard there was a cure for it, but they didn't tell him what it was a cure for. They told him, well, there's gonna be some side effects, and you better get ready. And so DeVito's like, Bobby, I'm feeling kind of a burn too. Why don't you give me a little injection? Not with that, Bobby, with the actual serum. So they both get the injection, and they both turn into demon aid-ridden redheads and fat guys.
Okay, I'm thinking of something. You know how it's like a ghost town in this movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm thinking Denver's a mile high up. It's kind of like cordoned off from the rest of the country. I'm thinking at some point that demon AIDS spread, and it spread all around the country. One of the last places to touch was the Mile High City. And I feel like they eventually find out patient zero. And they just show his picture on the news. You hear, dun, 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 and you just see Bobby Hampton in his little cap and gown from the graduation smiling. And they go, this man made the demon AIDS. And here's his accomplice. And they just show DeVito, and he's just doing the, I got the money.
File photo.
I think that as they're cleaning up what's left of the demon cop, loading them into the meat wagon, those same cops suddenly turn and go, damn, there's more of them! and Bobby and DeVito get pinned against the straight arrow in a hail of bullets. and poor DeVito goes down, but Bobby realizes the bullets are ricocheting off of him.
Uh-oh.
And that the only way to stop Bobby is with those meat bullets.
And do you think, like, when Bobby's dying on the ground eventually, his song is, he goes,
Yes.
Run on my wagon. Well, thank you again for joining us on another episode of the Grindbin. You can check out us on Twitter. We're at GrindPod. Our website is grindhousefilm.com. Bobby, you just put up a review of...
I did. I put up a couple reviews on our webpage on grindhousefilm.com. Our friends over at Arrow Video were kind enough to send us a few things for us to take a look at. I'll be... by this point, I'll have a review up for Death Smiles on a Murderer.
It's a Giallo movie.
It is. It's a Joe D'Amato film starring Klaus Kinski.
Oh, man.
Now, I've not seen it yet, but Arrow puts the kind of attention they put towards these things, it's astounding.
Yes, they sent us the Blu-ray for it. I believe it's out now by the time this episode's out.
It should be by this point.
I believe it comes out on the 22nd of May, but the review will be on the website, and we'll have links for that shared on the social media. But definitely check it out.
Like a red carpet presentation of a film. Arrow are the people to do it.
Oh, man. The transfers they always get on the Blu-rays are great.
Yeah.
And they sent us a whole bunch of stuff. And guess what, guys? Next week, we're covering one of the ones they sent us, which is 2000 Maniacs, a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie, on fucking Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And it's got all sorts of special features I'm going to have to watch. And we're going to go over all that stuff.
Happy to do, too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the cool thing is we're doing a commercial for free, basically, by talking about this the way we are. But Arrow is the only people out there, really, who will do a 2K scan of Herschel Gordon Lewis movies. And they're completely in league with us as far as interests go. And they put the kind of attention toward the kind of movies that we watch.
So we're really excited about it. Yeah, they sent us a bunch of Blu-rays to go ahead and review, and you'll be seeing the reviews on the website as well as some on the show, the first of which is 2000 Maniacs. So you can check them out, arrowvideo.com. They have all the new releases and everything up there, and we'll be putting links where you can go ahead and check out the Blu-rays for yourself. So thank you for sending them to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you helping us out with this.
It is apparent Senator Clinton has been hiding the demon aids in the emails.
Crazy life.
You singing?
Mixed up jumble. Crazy life. Stupid life for people who want to love. I just don't understand. Why so hard to say hello before goodbye?
Hey, Bobby, I got the money. Dad, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is it? I don't know. Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.